Carbon Dino football on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM. Carbon Dino football, powered by Castle Country Radio on KRPX 95.3 The Peak and online at castlecountryradio.com. And now for tonight's play-by-play, let's join Sonny Buscarini and Aiden Mortensen.
Good evening and welcome to Carbon Dino football here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. Tonight we're on the road and we're at Juab High School. And what a beautiful facility. It's homecoming here tonight. Juab in their all black uniforms with the golden helmets and the Dinos in the blue pants. White jerseys, white helmets. They're ready to roll here tonight at Juab High School. I'm Sonny Buscarini, joined by Aiden Mortensen here in the Sutherland's broadcast booth. And Aiden, time for another game. The Dinos come in 2-3 on the season. We played game number 6.
And Sonny, it's just a gorgeous day, and like you alluded to, a beautiful facility here at Juab High School. The sun is shining, and the fans are coming out in full force for both sides. Going to be a good region matchup, Sonny, and we were talking about it here in the booth before we came on air. Region is tough, and it only gets tougher from here. It's a gauntlet once you get into that region slate. Just a tough grind that you find yourselves trying to battle through. But I think the Dinos, we're seeing continual improvement week after week after week, and you're seeing a lot of players get healthy. And I think that's the big thing for Carbon, is that if they are able to stay healthy, then things are going to start going their way, especially as we get closer to that postseason.
Yeah, let's take a look at the RPI rankings for the 3A classification. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Number 13 sits Ben Lohman there, 0-4. Logan, 12 at a 1-4 record. Union, 11 at a 3-2 record, and then the Carbon Dinos sit number 10 with the 2-3 record.
Yeah, and that bottom half is still a very tough slate. I mean, you look at Union in particular. That's a team who just defeated the Emory Spartans 40-7. That's a tough squad. They run the ball, they grit and grind throughout, and they're a team that can really do a lot of damage. So you look through the RPI, 3A is just a tough spot to be in.
Yes, it is. Canyon View sits number 9 at 3-2. That's a team that the Dinos played earlier in the season. Number 8 is North St. Pete with a 4-1 record. They're playing very well.
That they are, Sonny. I think North St. Pete's one of those teams that came into the season and surprised a lot of people. I mean, you have a coaching change, and that's always a tough adjustment to. But when that coach is a legendary coach in Utah high school football, you're going to see a lot of good things happen. So that top half, this bottom half of the RPI, they can beat any of the top half teams on any given day.
Grantsville sits number 7. Let's talk about Grantsville for a second. They lost to Juab last week in overtime, 36-35. So that was a big win for Juab last week.
That it was, Sonny. When you can beat one of those up north teams, it's always a good feeling for our central and southern bodies, because, those are teams who typically have dominated the sport of football. So being able to grind out a win against them, especially against a very tough Grantsville team, that's a major testament to the character of the Wasps.
Listening to the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show, number 6 is Ogden. They are 4-1, and then Juab sits number 5, 4-1. So once again, another tough competition for the Dinos here tonight on the road.
Yeah, and from here on out, Sonny, the names you're going to be saying are either familiar faces or faces we're going to be seeing later on down the road, because, like we said, our half of the region, 3A South, it's tough. It's a very tough region.
Richfield sits number 4, 4-1. We've seen them last week. Manti sits number 3. We will see them later on in the season with a 3-2 record. Morgan, number 2, with a 4-1 record. And leading the RPI rankings in the 3A at number 1 is Cedar. They are 5-0, and they are playing extremely well.
Yeah, they are playing some fantastic football, Sonny, and it's hard to beat a team when they're playing postseason football in the middle of the regular season. So there's a lot of room for improvement for all of these teams, but Cedar has really poised themselves in that front runner position.
So the Dinos looking to snap a 3-game losing skid as they're 2-3 on the season, 0-2 in region play. As we said, returning to the road here tonight here at Juab. Juab comes in 4-1. And 0-1 in region play.
Yeah, their low region game so far, Sonny, has been against the Manti Templars, one of those teams you mentioned within that top 5. A big battle between these two squads. Just a very, very challenging opponent for the Wasps, and that's a tough one to start your region slate off with, is Manti. They were a presumptive state favorite coming in to the season, and now you've added a few more to that with Cedar and with Morgan especially. Those are the three teams a lot of people are expecting to reach that title game. Juab looking to make some noise, though, and shake up those rankings.
The Dinos losing 39-7 to Richfield last week. We were there on the road against Richfield, and some turnovers, but I was really impressed with the Dino defense. The Dinos fumbled the kickoff. Richfield had the ball on the Carbon 20-yard line. They came up scoreless on that drive. The defense for the Dinos played really well in the first quarter because Richfield was set up with short drives all in the first quarter, and I thought the Dino defense did what they had to do to keep them in the game early.
Oh, Sonny, when the opposing team starts on your 20-yard line and they're eyeing down the end zone to start the game, that's always a sign of, oh, no, it's going to be one of those games. But the Dinos defense, like you said, they were able to batten down the hatches, and they forced a 3-and-out. Richfield goes for it on fourth down, can't convert. Now, the offense wasn't able to capitalize on that momentum, but throughout the evening, the defense was stellar for the Dinos, and they're looking to continue that trend as they get out. That's something we talked about on the ride-up here, Sonny, is that it feels like there's a different vibe with this Dinos team.
Right.
It feels like there's no quit in this squad, and that makes all the difference in the world when you're playing a Road Warrior schedule like we do this season.
Juab comes off a 36-35 overtime victory over Grantsville last week. Their one loss in region play was to Manti, 52-19.
Yeah, no, and again, it's a tough Manti team you're facing against, a team who was trying to reach the state championship last year, falls in the semifinals. They're looking to go back at it again this year, and it's a tough team to start your region slate off, but every team in this region, again, Sonny, is a monster to try and face. So a lot to battle against. It's an uphill battle for every team, whether you're at home, on the road, any given day, Sonny, and one team can beat another.
So last year, these two teams battled. It was a 48-6 win for Juab.
And, that was a very dominant win for Juab, I think is the best way to put it. You go into someone else's territory, and you lay down a smackdown like that. And the problem is, Sonny, a lot of those players from last year's squad are making a return, especially when you look at Jaden Heap, the wide receiver this season, 163 rush yards, 431 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. Last season against the Dinos, he had 2 in the game. So he's looking to replicate that success coming in.
Well, they controlled the line of scrimmage last year, Aiden, with 5 sacks they had on the Dino quarterback and 3 turnovers with their win. So they controlled the line of scrimmage last year, something that the Dinos are going to have to do. They're going to have to change that this year against Juab, or it'll be the same situation. So they got to control the line of scrimmage better.
And it's a tall task, Sonny, especially when you have talent on the other side, like junior defensive end Wyatt Downer, 9 sacks on the season, Sonny.
Right.
We're 1 week past the midway point, and he has 9. That's terrifying to face, and only a junior as well. It's only up for Downard.
So tough task tonight for the Dinos as they battle Juab, but that's why we're here, right?
That's why we're here. You got to play the game to see, and I think, like we mentioned, any team can beat any team in this region on any given day. It's just who wants it more coming into it.
Absolutely. It's the Carbon Dinos and Juab. It's homecoming for Juab here tonight. We'll take a break on the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show, and when we come back, we'll have an interview that Jordan did with the head coach of the Dinos, Nick Milovich. We'll play that for him.
Yep, we will, Sonny. It's a good pregame, and I love being part of the Landon's Diesel Service pregame show.
We'll take a break. When we come back, the interview. Don't go away.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Looking for the perfect mattress? We've got you covered At Bill's Home Furnishings, we have the largest selection of mattresses in eastern Utah, including the highly rated Serta Perfect Sleeper. And when it comes to price, we're competitive with anywhere in the state. But we're more than just mattresses. From quality furniture and home accessories to reliable appliances, we've got everything you need to make your house a home. Stop by Bill's Home Furnishings today, where selection, savings, and service meet. Right here in eastern Utah.
Looking for financial solutions? At Cache Valley Bank, they're here to help. Whether you need commercial loans, mortgages, or expert financial advising, they've got you covered. Visit them today on the corner of First West and Main Street. Cache Valley Bank, your partner in financial success.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. When your comfort is on the line, trust the experts who care. At Air Temp Heating and Cooling, we've been dedicated to keeping Castle Country cozy since 1999. Our certified technicians are ready with 24/7 emergency service and the latest knowledge in heating and cooling technology. As a proud Bryant authorized dealer, we'll do whatever it takes to ensure your home or business stays comfortable year-round. Call Air Temp Heating and Cooling today at 637-4468.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Joining us right now over the phone, we have Carbon High School head football coach Nick Milovich. And, Coach, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for always having me every week.
Yeah, I love it, Coach. Love these conversations. And as I alluded to a moment ago, back half of the season already going into Week 6. It seems just like yesterday we were talking about the opener against American Leadership Academy. I think the perfect place to start this conversation is to take the 2-3 record, throw it out for a moment. I don't want to talk about the wins. I don't want to talk about the losses. I want to talk about what you have seen on the field and this process of figuring out the mindset of a new football coach in such a short period of time, and you also trying to implement the aspects you would like to see this program take on for culture purposes. How happy are you with that process as we go into Week 6?
I couldn't be more thrilled, and I hope everyone understands that. This is going to take a long, long time to be able to develop. But to all those out there in Carbon County, you should be so proud of your athletes. With the limited amount of time that we had with the youth of our program, in terms of underclassmen, just being able to step in these big roles and things like that. I couldn't be more happier. I wanted to establish more of a balanced attack, and I definitely knew that we had wonderful runners and wonderful athletes that could handle and carry the ball. And from that aspect in our running game and being able to march down the field and pull off big plays, I couldn't be more thankful for that. We're currently sitting about 800 rushing yards, which in my opinion is awesome. Like I said, I wanted to establish the run, and they've taken that philosophy and ran with it. And it's just a tribute to our kids, our coaches, and taking faith, especially going from the polar opposite of maybe last year where it was more of an air raid to this year where, like I said, more of a balanced attack, more emphasis on the run. Defensively, again, with those young kids stepping in and things like that, I know we've got a few that are leading the state in tackles and stuff like that, and Caleb Sorensen's been wonderful in picking the ball off, and Andy Kiefer just getting sacks and stuff like that. And so when we look at that, yeah, it may not translate on the scoreboard, but our kids are working for not only their school but their community. And I couldn't be more thrilled for that.
You talk about the defensive side of the ball, and we go back to the game last week against Richfield. The defense really kept this team in it. I mean, at the end of the first quarter, it's 7-0. I go back, I watched the tape, Coach, and the defense was put in some really difficult situations early on in this game. Yet as we go into the second quarter, it's a ball game.
Absolutely, and you always got to feel special about that, and hopefully the kids felt super special and a sense of accomplishment. And it's just a matter of not being satisfied for a quarter or two, but finishing that full 48 minutes and getting everything there. And so my hat's off to the defense and those kids playing their butts off.
I know you got to play a lot of kids both ways, right? And so this idea of, well, you got to give the offense a break or you got to give the defensive a break. I mean, you can't really ever use that logic in high school football where you got to play Iron Man so often. But is there a difference knowing that, okay, offensively, we got the ball back. We got to try to flip the field. Or if you're the defense, okay, we just created this stop on the defensive side of the ball. Let's carry that momentum to the offense. Because I know it's different, right, than if we would be talking about college or professional in the sense that you have so many kids on the field on both sides.
Right. And we knew from the beginning that we would have to go both ways and things like that. And so we challenge our kids that no matter what side of the ball that they're on, it's all about execution and things like that. And in some instances, we've heralded the call, and others we may have fallen a little bit short. But you talked about what I am most excited for. It's progression, and it seems like every single week we're getting that much better and that more locked in and realizing what to expect and things like that. And especially for the underclassmen, that kind of the expectations that we wanted them to experience, that, yeah, you might have to play Ironman football, that you might have to be both ways. So you've got to know exactly how to be conditioned, both physically and mentally, to be able to take care of that.
Coach, you said something a moment ago that I would love to expand on when you talked about execution. And I think this is one of the lost elementary contents of football. The concept can be spot on. And this is from both a coach's and a player's standpoint, right? The concept can be exactly what you need, but it's the execution. And I think sometimes it gets lost in translation as to what execution truly means. I mean, it's all across the sideline. It's in the huddle. It's when the ball is actually snapped. Concepts and execution are two completely different things, and there's a share in that from the coaching staff and the players.
Yes, absolutely. And it's all about repetition and things like that. And I know we want to move on to the next thing. What's next? And that's kind of what our generation's been brought up with. What's the next best thing? But it is those small and simple things that really are the difference. And being a young coach, I've been super grateful to see that in action. And now it's my goal to impart that to everyone else and all the coaches. And it's just a blessing to have a lot of experienced coaches on there that they're teaching me every day with that, along with the kids and things like that. And so we've got to continue that mentality that it is just more than the X's and O's. It's how we prepare. It's how we prepare after the game or after practice. It's just those little things of reaching that much more for a pass or breaking down just a little bit more for a tackle. And so it's a huge critical part of the game, like you were saying.
Again, Coach Nick Milovich of the Carbon Dinos joining us right now. Coach, let's talk about one more aspect. I want to go back to the offensive side of the ball before we talk about Juab this week. Dexter Packard, once again, a great week for you guys. He crosses the 100-yard barrier on the ground. Also, we had a big 30-yard touchdown reception from Caden Dunn over to Crespin, and so there were some positives that you guys can build off of. Did you notice that Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday in preparation for this game, those little nuances of the offense where you found success kind of carrying some momentum over?
Absolutely, and it's just not panicking in the moment. And like I said, week by week, we're getting a little bit better each time. Every time we practice, every time we try to put the kids into game-like situations, and to show them, you know what, you've earned that, and now it's just a matter of just finishing it. And I think that's the remainder of the year that we need to focus on, is just finishing. They proved that they can march down the field. Now we just don't get over panicked about the moment and get the ball in the darn end zone.
Well, let's talk about this week's opponent, because the one thing that stands out to me about Juab is they have allowed some big points. I mean, you get rid of that week one defense performance against Delta, and I know that there's been an increase in schedule difficulty, but I mean, they gave up 33 to Payson. They gave up 21 to South Summit. We saw Manti put up 52. We saw Grantsville put up 35. Now, to Juab's credit, they're finding ways to come out of these high-scoring affairs with wins, but in the same sense, Coach, what have you seen on tape that is allowing the opposition to find this kind of success offensively against Juab?
Absolutely. They have two scary ends, one of which I believe is leading in sacks. And so I just think they are and in times past, they've always had wonderful defensive ends, defensive linemen. But once they break through that, everyone's been finding success. I know Grantsville last week threw the ball more than a Grantsville team usually should, and found success in the air, and that might be something that we definitely want to look at. In terms of that scheme that they run, they rely heavily on linebackers and just let their defensive ends kind of clean up the outsides. But I think if we can cap them up and get second level, I think we're going to find success. And it's our responsibility and the responsibility of the quarterback to make good, little sound decisions, not to blow the top off necessarily because they are quick, but find little gaps in their zone that they like to run. I know they like to run man with a cover one. And like I said, more defensive ends are what they're running is more C-gap pressure. So if we can find a way to run up and under, maybe B or A gap, I think we might find something special Friday night.
And then we look at what they do on the offensive side of the ball. Jaden Heap may be one of the most dynamic players in all the 3A classification. He has been great, not only out of the backfield in the rushing attack, but he's also been great receiving the ball. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Coach, I think he leads the team in both rushing yards. He's second in rushing yards, but he does lead the team in receiving yards. I mean, this kid is kind of an all-around type athlete that can make you pay, and he can score in a hurry.
Absolutely. They've got a ton of great receivers, and then they've got a quarterback. I think he's plus 100 in attempts already.
Yeah,
which is insane. So I'm looking for him to keep that going, especially Friday. They're going to throw the ball, and we've got to keep an eye on Heaps. And then they've got another receiver. They're fast, they're athletic, and they're big. So they will go catch the ball. So we got to be really on our game in the secondary.
And I think that this does present a solid opportunity for your secondary, right? And I know that if you're playing in that defensive backfield, you want to be opportunistic. You want an opportunity to flip momentum. You want an opportunity to create a takeaway. And when we look at Bryce Armstrong, very, very talented quarterback here for Juab, he has thrown 10 interceptions this season, and a lot of that has to do with the volume in which he is throwing the football. So it does give your defensive backfield an opportunity to make plays this week, and I think that's exciting.
Yes, absolutely. And we just need to make sure we're in the right place, talking with each other. And it's all going to be dictated up front. So our front four have a big job ahead of them. But if we can get in this kid's face, like you said, he is prone to maybe getting the ball out a little too early or making a couple of mistakes. But if we give him time, we're going to get picked apart. So it's going to be an overall team effort to try to go steal a win Friday.
We'll end with this, Coach. RPI comes out. Carbon is number 10. It's definitely not a bad spot to be in. I know that the opponent's winning percentage and the opponent's winning percentage is just going to continue to grow as the season goes on because you guys are faced with such a really daunting task of this region that you guys have been placed in. You have one of the most difficult schedules in all of 3A. There's no question, and the numbers now show that.
Yeah. We've got a killer region. But you know what? I've been proud with our kids, with their ability to fight and not give up, because there could have been times where those scores could have been much, much, much worse. So we just got to take it and bear it and do our best. And and control what we can control. And we can definitely control our attitude. We can definitely control our effort, and hopefully that shows out on Friday.
Coach, it's always a pleasure to get you on. I love the conversations. Best of luck against Juab, and I can't wait to talk again next week.
Always. Thank you so much for having me.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Or can I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Jill Jensen in Price.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
Hey there, food lovers. It's Bill Hicks from Farlano's Cafe, your new favorite spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you're craving a hearty omelet, a fresh salad, our golden curly fries, or our mouth-watering pastas, we've got you covered. And we're open 7 days a week. So come on down to Farlano's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration. Remember, it's where the locals eat. Visit us at Farlano's, where great food and great company come together. See you soon.
Discover the strength and beauty of Flawless Sheeting's metal siding and roofing solutions. Designed to endure and crafted to conserve energy, the products offered by Flawless Sheeting ensure your home not only looks good, but feels good too. Plus, they come with a 40-year warranty. Enjoy superior durability and enhanced comfort year-round with new roofing from Flawless Sheeting. Ready to upgrade? Call Flawless Sheeting at 636-7300 and elevate the way you live.
You see your friends with their new travel trailers, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides. They're living the dream, right? Well, it doesn't just have to be a dream. You can start living that same dream life today by starting your new career with GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance. GMS is hiring mechanics, electricians, fabricators, experienced and inexperienced miners. They offer high starting wages, benefits, a 401k, and vacation pay. Local jobs are available. Apply today. Email your resume to kbarker@gmsminerepair.com. The dream can be yours with GMS Mine Repair.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Football on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Number 10 in the RPI rankings in 3A, Juab number 5. The flip of the coin, we'll see what goes on here at the 50-yard line. Aiden, it's going to be a good one tonight. The weather looks like it's going to be a good night. The wind blowing just a tad bit. Nothing major. It's going to affect the game in any way. So Dinos coming in tonight, as we said, with a 2-3 record. 4-1 record for Juab. So we're just moments away from kickoff. The Dinos in their blue pants, white jerseys with the blue numbers and the white helmets. Juab with the black uniforms, gold numbers, gold helmets.
They got just about gold everything, Sonny. They are a very dapper-looking group, and I love the blackout look of these jerseys. I do like their crimson look, though, too. They really have a nice color scheme when you look at things.
Referee with the coin toss. It looks like Juab has won the toss, and they will receive.
And,
going to take the ball. So Juab wins the toss. They'll take the ball first.
It's always tough when the other team gets to start with the ball, especially if they choose to do so willingly. That makes it a whole heck of a lot harder, Sonny, to try and navigate these things.
So Juab will go right to left on your radio dial, winning the toss and running the ball. And the captains shake hands, and we're just moments away from kickoff here at Carbon High School, at Juab High School. The Carbon Dinos and Juab region play tonight for the Dinos. It's homecoming here at Juab. Got a packed house. And we're ready for the start of tonight's game as Juab will get the ball first, and back to receive the kick is Myers. Will be on the right. On the left side will be Drake Johnson. They're the deep men for Juab. Kicking the ball away for the Carbon Dinos tonight will be Eli Chili. They'll set the ball up, and we're ready to go. Carbon Dino Football 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. Sit back, relax, and listen to Carbon Dino Football.
Eli Shilly kicking it off for Carbon.
So we're ready for the start, and there's the kickoff, and we are underway. It's a short kick. The up man will field it for Juab at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, into the secondary, 50, down the sidelines, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Juab. That is Caden Martino. Takes it the length of the field, and just like that, it's 6-0 Juab. So early on, it's 6-0 with 11:49 left to play in the first quarter. The opening kickoff, taken about 70 yards for the touchdown. And it is a 6-0 game. Extra point attempt for Juab. Try to make it 7-0 quickly. Nice return as he just took it around the left side and it never was touched on the entire trip. Drake Johnson to kick the extra point for Juab to try to make it 7-0. Offsides, Carbon's going to make it half the distance to the goal. Let's see if they decide to go for two here, or if they continue to go with the extra point. It goes half the distance to the goal. It looks like they're going to try just for the extra point regardless. So they move it half the distance. We'll try it again. Ball will be set down at the 10-yard line. Johnson, the snap, the set, the kick is up. The kick is good, and just like that, with 11:49 left to play in the first quarter, it's Juab 7 and the Carbon Dinos nothing. We'll take a break. When we come back, more Dino football right here.
The more things change,
the more they stay the same.
Yes, Mr. Automotive has a new building in Huntington.
But that just means the services they offer just got better.
Detailing and mechanic work are being added to the already great service Mr. Automotive had already offered.
And all deals are still done with the owner at the lowest prices possible.
New building, same best prices, and more auto services. Go to MrAutomotiveSales.com or stop by the dealership, 21 South Main, Huntington. Mr. Automotive, the best for less.
Imagine a smooth, hassle-free journey to the front door of your new home with the Driggs Mortgage Team guiding you every step of the way. Hi, this is Greg Driggs. Our seasoned experts understand the ins and outs of home financing and refinancing. Come visit us at our new permanent address, 8 East Main in Price, where we plan to be a staple for years to come. Start your journey today. Call 801-427-3577. The Driggs Mortgage Team, NMLS number 272076, Equal Housing Opportunity. Driggs Mortgage Team is a DBA of Premier Mortgage Resources, LLC.
And there's the kick. Kick carries to the 10-yard line. Here comes the Dinos across the 25-30 to the 31-yard line. Brought down there. 1st and 10 for the Carbon Dinos. Nice return that time by the Dinos on that kick return. Number 28, Timothy, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Dinos on the 30, down 7-0. So Juab won the toss. They elected to receive. They take the kickoff. 70 yards for a touchdown to make it 7-0 after the extra point. 1st down and 10. Dinos come to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers left side, 2 right side. Ball sits in between the hash marks. Right in the middle. Shotgun formation for Dunn. Man in motion comes towards us for the Dinos. That's Finch. Into the slot. Dunn wants to throw down the sidelines, right side to Olsen. Tries to get it. Flag comes in. Tried to get to the ball. Couldn't quite get there, but interference on Juab as Maddox Wilson had a step on everybody, and they held him from getting the ball. It was really a good penalty because that would have been caught. No doubt about it. So the 15-yard penalty on the interference by Juab.
Yeah, Sonny, that would have been a surefire touchdown if Wilson had come down with the ball. But, like you said, a smart penalty by the Wasps to stop that one before it could get any further downfield. You got to love when you see smart plays like that, especially on the high school level.
Well, the penalty for interference in high school, if you're beat, you might as well do it because it's 15 yards. It's better than it's not a spot foul.
Yeah, not a spot foul.
So that's a good penalty. 1st down and 10. Handoff goes nowhere this time. Oh, wait a minute. Breaks a couple of tackles. Tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's a tough run by Nichols. Good defensive play. 1, 2, 3, 4 players in to make the tackle. For Juab, it'll be 2nd down. Loss of 1 and 11 to go for the Dinos.
And that looked like it should have been blown up at the line of scrimmage, even for a loss, Sonny. So the fact that Nichols kept the legs churning, was able to advance it just about back to that initial line, that is an incredible stand for the Dinos, despite losing the yard.
Ball sits on the near hash mark. Dinos go left to right. Trips go to the far side. Single receiver here to the near side. Shotgun for Dunn. Wants to throw. In the pocket. Steps up, throws out in the flat left side. Ball caught by Finch. He's up across the 50-yard line. Be close to the 1st down for the Dinos, depending on where they mark it. Let's see.
And Sonny, you got to love when the Dinos stick to that short game. You don't need to be taking long shots downfield, but they mark them down just a yard short, Sonny. It makes it a much more manageable 3rd and 1 as compared to what would have been a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, from the far official, it looked like maybe they had the 1st down, but they walk it in to the hash mark. It's going to be 3rd and 1. So shotgun formation. There's the snap. Dunn wants to throw. Out in the flat again. Caught again. Should be a 1st down. And they'll move the chains. 1st down. Finch with the catch for the Carbon Dinos and move the chains. 1st down for the Dinos.
And Sonny, you don't need to hit big home run plays each time the ball is in the air. Sometimes you're going to be okay with that dink and dunk action. And we saw a little bit of it right there. The Dinos able to pick up about 2 yards on the play, keep this drive a-moving.
Boy, the forward progress looked a little bit further than that, but they just give them the 1st down. 1st and 10, ball right on the 50-yard line. Quick pitch comes to the right side. It's Nichols. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. Nice tackle. That time coming up to make the play is Carter Wilson, senior defensive tackle, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll call it a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
And, as long as you keep moving forward on that line of scrimmage, that's what's going to matter the most. And you got to keep on marching that ball downfield, Sonny. That's what matters the most in this game.
So we got a 2nd down. We'll call it 9. Ball sits at the 49-yard line on Juab's side of the field. Dunn wants to throw. Screen pass out in the flat left side, caught by Nichols and then tackled. He had a hard time grabbing onto that ball, which slowed him down. Gave the defense time to come up and make the stop. Gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Dinos.
Yeah, and they just keep on moving downfield. He bobbled a little bit, like you said, but he's able to advance the ball just a little bit, and that's what matters is you can get those positive gains. Eventually you can snowball into something greater, entering into Juab's territory now.
Shotgun formation once again for the Dinos. Ball sits on the far hash mark. Dunn in the shotgun, wants to throw in the pocket. He's hit as he throws, falls to the ground, incomplete. They call that an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and 8.
and was a little worried.
Dunn's arm was going forward there, calling it an incomplete pass. Good call by the officials.
Definitely a good call. I was a little worried they were going to try and call that a fumble, but if they did, it would have still resulted in a loss. But Maddox Wilson had dove on the ball, and he was going to be able to keep possession to set up this 4th down punt.
Drake Johnson back to receive the kick. He stands on the 10-yard line. Punting the ball away for the Carbon Dinos will be Sandoval. He stands on the 40. Johnson's back on the 5-yard line. There's the snap. We have whistles. Yellow flags on the field. Let's see what we got here.
And just based on that kick, though, Sonny, you can tell that Sandoval has been putting in the time to get better in the world of kicking. That one soared a good distance.
5-yard penalty on the Dinos.
And that makes it a tougher situation to try and stomach, Sonny. They're trying to get that ball moving downfield. That doesn't help them one bit. In fact, it helps Juab quite a bit more.
Ball sits on the 47. There's the snap. The kick by Sandoval. It's a good kick. End-over-end kick. Carries down to the 15-yard line. Johnson's brought down immediately, and that's good kick coverage by the Dinos. Getting down there to make that play is Crespin, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Juab, and they get their first offensive possession of the ball game, up 7-0 on the opening kick returned by the Wasps, and they lead 7-0.
And it's crazy to think, Sonny, that this is their first time seeing the field. They got the kickoff return touchdown, and that's why we see ourselves at 7-0, but things looking to get going offensively as well as defensively and the special teams for the Wasps. If they can complete that trifecta here, Sonny, the Dinos might find themselves in some trouble.
1st down and 10. Ball sitting on the 14-yard line. Armstrong, the quarterback, wants to throw out in the flat. They try the hook and ladder type of play. It's loose on the ground. They pick it up, and they'll give him forward progress back at the 1-yard line. Almost a safety for the Carbon defense. That was a good defensive play by the Dinos. So it's a loss all the way back. They're going to mark it on the 2-yard line. So 2nd down and long for Juab.
And it went from bad to worse to even worse, Sonny. They tried to get the ball. They tried to run the hook and ladder. A little trickery on play number 1 for the Juab offense.
Handoff goes up the middle with some running room across the 5 to the 10-yard line as he moves the pile. Nice pickup of the play, about 9. So it's going to be 3rd down and still long for Juab.
So they gained back some ground, but following that massive loss on the first, it's a tall task they face trying to get back into even a playable position.
3rd down long. Call it 15. Armstrong wants to throw between the hash marks. Has a man caught and then dropped. Nice defensive play by Carbon coming over to knock that ball out. Chance Wood, the senior, and it'll be 4th down, and Juab will have to punt from deep in their own territory, so a good defensive stance for the Dinos to start the game.
And, Sonny, that's what we talked about pregame. This Dinos defense is unrelenting. They're going to hit you. They're going to hit you hard, and they're going to wreak a lot of havoc as you try and make your way downfield. That looked like it could have been an easy 1st down flip for the Wasps, but the Dinos just put on the seatbelt and were able to escape.
Johnson to kick the ball away from his end zone. Good spinning kick. Filled it at the 40-yard line by Nichols, and he goes down immediately. Good coverage that time by Myers for Juab, and the Dinos have the ball on the Juab side of the field. 1st and 10 on the 40, so the defense did their job. Now the offense has good field position. An important drive for the Dinos to get points on the board here.
That it is, Sonny. You have the ball in great field position. You know your defense can get the job done. Now it's a matter of the offense picking up the slack.
1st and 10 for the Dinos. Ball sits on Juab 40-yard line. Shotgun for Dunn. Ball sits on the near hash mark. They go left to right on your dial. Trips to the left side. Man in motion's Olsen. They'll give it to Olsen on the little jet sweep. Tight end tries to get to the outside. He does. Across the 40 to the 35 and a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 for the Dinos. So he gets half of it on 1st down.
And, that's what I love about Maddox Wilson, Sonny. He is a big body, but he runs so fast. He's a freak athlete, and the Dinos lucky to have him because he can turn that edge and break away. It takes about 2 or 3 players to bring him down every time he has the ball in his hands, Sonny. It's a dangerous situation when he gets moving.
They mark him on the 36, so a gain of 4, 2nd down, 6 for the Dinos. Shotgun formation once again. Nichols stands on the right side of Dunn. There's the snap. Dunn wants to throw. In the pocket, throws between the hash marks. Caught. for a nice little gain of about 3 or 4 on the play for the Dinos. Making that catch is Colton Finch, the junior wide receiver. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Dinos.
Second reception of the day for Finch, up to 6 yards, but a very big 6 yards as they continue to move the ball towards that promised first down. I like this approach that Dunn and the offense is taking in dinking and dunking the ball downfield. You don't need to hit the big 20-yard strike each time. You just need to keep on moving forward.
3rd down, long 1 or short 2 for the Dinos. Dunn wants to throw. In the pocket. Has time. Throws. Almost intercepted. Intended for Timothy. But there to make the defensive play for Juab. Bryson Downard. And it'll be 4th down and 1 for the Dinos. And I think this is go for it territory for the Dinos.
I think so. You can put a lot of trust in your defense, and that's when things are going to, you can go a little riskier on offense, and I think this is the time to take some risks. It's 4th and short. You just need to keep moving the ball a little bit more downfield.
4th down, 1 for the Dinos. They come to the line of scrimmage. Crespin goes to the left side, out there by himself. Under center goes Dunn. Nichols goes in motion. Handoff goes up the middle. The fullback is going to be enough for a first down and lots more. Down to about the 26-yard line for the Dinos.
And I love
Maurer, the ball carrier.
I love when plays like that work. Get those big boys involved. Get them moving down the field. That's when things are going to go your way. If you can get that established at the line of scrimmage like they did on that play, you can just keep marching it downfield.
6:25 and running. First quarter, 7-0 Juab on the opening kickoff return. Low snap. Dunn controls it. Throws left side. Ball caught by Timothy at the 25. Fights his way close to the 20-yard line. Mark him on the 22. Pick up a 5, maybe 6 on the play for the Dinos. 2nd down.
And that was a great play by Timothy. Stays calm, sits in his area, doesn't try and do anything too fancy, makes the catch, and is able to march up a little downfield.
Well, Dinos getting yardage on first down.
And
that's a plus for them.
We talked about it. It feels like when they can get that yardage on first down, the positive yardage, let's clarify,
right.
If they can march it a little bit forward, then the momentum starts snowballing their way, and they're able to start working their way downfield, and that's when magic can happen for the Dinos.
So Dinos come to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, we'll call it 4. Ball sits on the 22-yard line. Shotgun formation for Dunn. In the pocket, rushed out, throws right side, intercepted. Intercepted at the 30, 40, 50, 40, 30, down the sidelines, 20, 10, 5, touchdown for Bryson Downard as he steps in front of the pass and takes it 70 yards. Well, actually, it was 80 yards down the sidelines for the score.
Now, Sonny, that play doesn't happen without Trayson Olsen rushing into the backfield, pressuring Dunn, and making him try and make something work out of something that wasn't there. And in return, the Wasps go the other way. The offense hasn't been firing for Juab to open this game, Sonny, but the defense has, and the special teams have. A great start for those two units for the Wasps. If they get the offense going, Sonny, it's
so
a
on the
game.
offensive side of the ball, Juab has minus yardage, but the score is 13-0.
And, Sonny, when you always look at that, it can be a little bit disheartening because, you've stopped them offensively. It's every other area they're winning this game.
Johnson, extra point is up and good. 5:13 left to play first quarter. Juab with a kick return for a touchdown and an interception return for a touchdown, both 70 yards. And the Dinos trail 14-0.
Yeah, Sonny, that was just a very good start to this game for the Wasps, special teams and defensively. They just need one more unit to start clicking, and this one, they're looking to put on a show here at homecoming.
We'll take a break. When we come back, more Dino football. 14-0 Juab when we return.
At Oliver Law, we specialize in criminal defense and DUI. Everyone needs to know their rights. Let us guide you through the criminal justice minefield. At Oliver Law, we still believe in innocent until proven guilty.
I'm Will Hinckley, number 66. I'm Cole Hinckley, number 72, and you're listening to 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play.
Welcome back, 14-0. Juab with the lead. With the kick return and an interception return for a touchdown, and they lead 14-0. Dunn tried to throw the ball to the right side down the sidelines, and a good read that time by Juab, stepping in front of the ball downward, and he takes it the length of the field for the score.
He read that like a book, Sonny. It was a beautiful play by Downard.
There's the kick. Build it at the 15-yard line for Timothy to the 20, goes to the left side. Tries to get to the corner, cannot. Runs out of bounds about the 27-yard line. Mark him on the 25, and it'll be first down for the Dinos from there, down 14-0. It doesn't seem like it should be 14-0.
It doesn't, Sonny. That's the thing you alluded to. They have Juab held to negative yards, but the defensive pick six and the kick return for a touchdown have been the difference makers so far. I think Juab has done a good job in those two departments. Now they're looking to continue their dominance defensively. And if you can jump up to a 3-score lead in quarter number 1, that kind of sets the tone for the remainder of the game. Deflates a team, really. 2
big plays for Juab. Shotgun formation for the Dinos. Ball sits on the far hash mark. They go left to right. Wants to throw. Between the hash marks, incomplete. Intended for Wilson. Just overthrew him. Good coverage that time by Juab, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Dinos.
Now, it's hard to find separation from this Juab secondary, especially if you are Maddox Wilson. They're going to pick up on you, and they're going to try and track you down the length of the field. They're going to stick not 1, but 2 players on you almost at all times because they know what kind of damage you can do if you break away.
Ball sits on the far hash mark. Dinos go left to right, as we said. 2 receivers to the near side. Handoff up the middle. There is no place to go. Back in the backfield, back at the 23-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 2 Nichols, the ball carrier, and a host of defenders in to make the stop, led by Gage Vance.
Yeah, I know they got into the backfield extremely quickly, forced the Dinos backwards. That's not what you can afford to be doing right now. You had a good drive going. You need to rekindle some of that magic that you had before the interception, and they've shown that they can move the ball against this Juab defense. It's just finding that want and that need right now.
3rd down 12 for the Dinos. Break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. Ball sitting on the 23-yard line. 2 receivers come to the near side, the far side. Receiver in the slot, shotgun formation for Dunn, wants to throw. In the pocket, throws out to the right side, caught by Crespin up to the 29-yard line. He's going to be about 6 yards shy of the first down after the reception. Nice defensive play to end it right there by Juab. And Sandoval will come on the field, and the Dinos will punt the ball away.
Yeah, not in risk-taking formation anymore, Sonny. They were on Juab's side of the field, but now things just not moving in their way.
Johnson stands on their own 34-yard line to receive the kick. Snap to Sandoval. Spiral kick carries to the 35-yard line to the 40. Across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Nice tackle by the Dinos coming up to make that play is Nichols, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Juab. The ball sitting on the 45-yard line to try to extend that lead. They lead 14-0. So far, Juab's offense minus yardage.
I liked the move by Ashton Dudley on the return. He gets into a nice drive block. He almost locks those hands, but then he moves them back, starts pushing with his chest. That way you're avoiding any potential hold calls that could come your way.
Junior quarterback Bryce Armstrong in the shotgun. Man in motion. They give it to the jet sweep, the man in motion. Myers tries to get to the outside, still on his feet. Fights his way up. Gets across the 45 or the 49-yard line and a pickup of 4. That was a hard-fought 4 yards. Good defense by the Dinos.
That it was, and it's one of those situations, Sonny, where the Dinos normally bring them down much quicker. Not much gang tackling to be seen on that play. Hasn't been the case up to that point, but before that, that's what we were seeing.
Armstrong wants to throw. Ball is tipped and then caught by an offensive lineman. Now, he'll break some tackles, gets across the 50 to the 40-yard line. Was that ball tipped?
That ball was tipped, Sonny.
I couldn't tell if it was tipped or if it was just knocked loose.
The senior, Cohen Mattinson, bringing it down. And, Sonny, there's the old saying that when a lineman gets the football in his hands, he suddenly feels like he's prime Adrian Peterson. They're going to rumble and tumble down the field, and that's exactly what he does. Juab turning 2 broken plays into big gains. They're a good football team. They make the most of their opportunities.
First down, 37-yard line. Throw out into the right flat. Ball is caught for a pickup of 5 on the play.
And the wide receiver core so disciplined as well, Sonny. They're able to bring those balls in despite heavy contact coming through. And that makes a big difference in the world when you can hold on to those balls, especially when the other team's trying to put you into a coffin.
Johnson making the catch. Here's a handoff up the middle. Some running room across the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. From 33 yards out. Touchdown for Juab, and it's Brock Richards,
and Sonny,
the senior.
He's making his return tonight against the Dinos after missing the last 3 games due to injuries. Before that, let me tell you what's scary about him. Averaged 175 rushing yards per game, able to walk and talk and rumble his way downfield, and he gets in for another Juab score. And we talked about it, Sonny. All that was needed for Juab now was to get the offense going, and they have done just that with the big score.
Drake Johnson on to attempt the extra point. 2:19 left to play first quarter, 20-0. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. The kick is good. 2:19 left first quarter. Juab 21, Carbon nothing. When we come back, Carbon Dino Football, 95.3 The Peak.
In the heart of Carbon and Emery counties, Quick Realty is here to help you make the right move. Experience the future of home buying with our Matterport 3D tours, giving you an immersive look at your potential home from anywhere. Meet our dedicated team of local professionals, just real people who care, walking you through every step of the way. As a Zillow Premier and Realtor.com specialist, Quick Realty is your trusted expert, handling everything from residential, commercial, and mountain properties to property management. Your dream home is just a call away. Let Quick Realty help you find it.
Carbon High School football on KRPX 95.3 The Peak.
19 left to play in the first quarter. 21-0 the score. Juab with the lead over the Carbon Dinos.
Yeah, no, and Sonny, we talked about it. Big plays for the Wasps, offensive, defensively, special teams wise. They've scored in all 3 aspects.
Ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff. Dinos will get it up at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dinos from there. And, decent field position. Again, the Dinos, they've had good field position tonight. Moving the ball on drive number 1 and the big interception by Juab to take it 70 yards down the sidelines for the score. But the Dinos prove that they can move the ball.
No, they can, and that's the thing. They just need to refine that magic, and it's hard sometimes to try and establish, but it's something that at this junction of the game, Sonny, as the clock continues to tick, 2:19 left in quarter number 1, and Juab up 21-0, you got to find that magic quickly.
First down, 10, ball on the 35 for the Dinos. They go left to right on your radio dial. The ball sits on the left hash mark. Shotgun formation for Dunn. Receivers go to the short side of the field. Dunn. The pitch outside to Nichols. He'll pick up a couple, maybe 3 on the play. Nice pursuit that time, coming up to make the stop for Juab. Howardton on the stop.
And Sonny, that was a bold option by Dunn. He read that to the last possible second. He's absorbing contact and he pitches the ball.
Yeah.
That's a bold move, but I like it.
Yeah, could have been a loss. Turns out to be a 3-yard gain. 2nd down, 7 for the Dinos. Shotgun formation once again. Dunn in the pocket. Steps up. Throws down the left sidelines. Caught down the sidelines at the 35-yard line. What a catch by Colton Finch. Down the left sideline. They mark him out at the 32. Move the chains and a 1st down for the Carbon Dinos.
And, Sonny, that's the kind of magic you need. You find one safety sleeping, and then you can take a deep shot like that. They've lulled them into a false sense of security with those little dink and dunk passes, and it built them up to the moment where they could pull off that deep throw.
Wow, it's a beautiful throw by Dunn. He put it right where he had to put it. Down the sidelines, big game for the Dinos. 1st down in Juab territory. Dunn wants to throw this time on the right side. Has a man wide open out in the flat. This is Timothy. Across the 30, mark him at the 28. Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5. And the Dinos continue to get yardage on 1st down. And that just complements their offense.
And I think the deep shot scrambled the Wasps a little bit, Sonny. They are struggling to try and find a solution to the Dinos now. 2 big plays now for them, and they're back in Juab territory. A score here is in dire need for the Dinos to stop this from becoming a rout before we head to quarter number 2.
Second down, we'll call it 6. They mark him back up to about the 29-yard line. Gain of 4. Second down. Dunn in the shotgun. Nichols stands to the left side. Wants to throw. Throws out in the flat. Has Finch again. Ball caught close to the 25-yard line. Mark him on the 26. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Dinos.
And Finch kind of been playing hero ball throughout this drive, Sonny. He's making the most of the Dinos' opportunities, and he's been a big player of why they've been able to get to the territory they're in now.
Yeah, it just comes off the line of scrimmage. Cuts to the sidelines. Dunn hits him with the easy pitch and catch, making it a 3rd and manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Shotgun formation. Ball sits far hash mark to the near side. 2 receivers for the Dinos. Nichols stands to the right side of Dunn. Long snap count. Trying to get Juab to jump off and get a free first down. They don't.
Good discipline from the Wasps.
Timeout, Carbon. Oh, that's the end of the first quarter. I thought they were calling timeout, so they let the ball run down. Good play by the Dinos to try to get him to jump offside. They don't. The quarter ends. They'll do it on the other side.
Yeah, no, and I like that, using the clock as a natural timeout because you're in no rush. It's not heading into halftime. You retain possession as you go into quarter number 2. Not a lot you have to deal with there.
Yeah. So after 1, it's Juab 21 and the Carbon Dinos nothing. When we come back, Carbon Dino football 95-3 the Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Having a great local pharmacy that you can rely on is important. At Price Family Pharmacy, transferring your prescriptions is simple and hassle-free. Just call us at 637-3737 and we'll take care of the rest. Need your medication delivered right to your door? We offer free delivery to make your life even easier. Managing multiple medications? Ask about our convenient med packing services to keep you organized and on track. Visit Price Family Pharmacy and experience a team that genuinely cares. Feel better about your pharmacy. Choose Price Family Pharmacy today.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Football on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back. Carbon Dino Football 21-0.
And the Wasps defense, or they've excelled in every area of the game, son. You got to give them a lot of credit. They have found ways to succeed offensively, defensively, and special teams wise.
Dunn keeps it, gets to the 25, pickup of 1. It's going to be 4th down and 2 for the Dinos, maybe 3. We'll call it a long 2. 4th down.
And again, Sonny, in that risk-taking territory, but the last time we saw him here, it resulted in that 70-yard pick 6 for the Wasps, and that's where their defense embodied that bend, don't break mentality. That's what you want to see in a defense. You can let them bend. You get into the red zone, and they can stiffen up just enough to force a turnover, and in the Juab's case, get the touchdown.
4th down, 2 yards to go for the Dinos. Ball sitting on the 25-yard line. 11:20 left to play, second quarter. Big play for the Dinos. Nichols stands to the left side of Dunn. Dinos go right to left now on your dial after the change at the end of the quarter. Wants to throw. Hit as he throws it, falls to the ground, incomplete. Dunn had no time that time. Coming in to make a quick hit was Downard, and he just had to get the ball the way, and it falls to the ground, incomplete. 4th down and a turnover on downs. The Wasps will take over, 1st down on the 25.
And we talked about it, Sonny. The pressure that Juab can apply can cause fits to any quarterback. You have to get the ball out quickly. And Dunn did do a good job of not holding the ball for too long, because if he did, that would have been a sack, the turnover on downs, and set him up at about the 35. So not the ideal outcome, but much better field position if you're the Dinos.
They go left to right. Trips come to the right side. Throws over the middle. The ball is caught at the 30-yard line. Breaking a couple of tackles. Gets up to the 34-yard line. That's Heap.
And he does a nice job spinning out of the initial contact and start moving his way downfield. A 9-yard gain on that one for the Wasps, Sonny. It's fair to say that their offense has gotten it going.
2nd down, we'll call it 1. Handoff goes up the middle, some running room across the 35 or the 39-yard line. That's the ball carrier, Richards, and move the chains into 1st down.
And Richards able to advance the ball just a little bit forward, and they're just going to keep on marching. They go in big plays time and time again. The 9-yard pass to the 7-yard run.
Up-tempo offense now for Juab. Armstrong wants to throw. Throws down the sideline. Has a man wide open just off the fingertips of the receiver, Jaden Heap. Falls to the ground, incomplete, 2nd down and 10. He was there. He had a step on the Dino defense. Just threw him just off his fingertips.
And it's one of those ones, Sonny, that going back to watch film, you're going to be kicking yourself a little bit regardless of the score because that could have been an easy touchdown for you.
2nd down, 10. Armstrong in the shotgun once again. Wants to throw. Looks left. Throws left. Caught at the 42-yard line. Breaking a tackle to the 45-50. Down the sidelines, 40, 35-30, 25-20. It's Downer still on his feet to the 15. Cuts back 10, 5. What a run and a touchdown. 60 yards.
Well, Sonny, that was a very impressive run by Downer, able to weave, wind, dip, dash, duck, dive, all the way to the end zone, and he just kind of danced his way there along the sideline, gets to midfield, near his own sideline, completely flipping it left to right. You can't ask for a better run after the catch.
So Downward with a 60-yard touchdown, and the big plays continue for Juab.
Racking up the yak, Sonny. The yards after the catch. That was a big, big play for the Wasps.
Making it 27-0. Extra point attempt for Juab. Come on, Drake Johnson. So far he's perfect. 3 for 3, trying for the 4th. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. The kick is right down the middle. 10 minutes left to play in the second quarter, and Juab continues with huge plays, and they lead 28-0.
That was just a great, great drive by the Wasps on that one, Sonny. They take advantage of the Dinos' defense to find the score yet again, jump up to 28-0 with only 10 minutes left to go in quarter number 2.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Dinos get the ball. 95-3 the Peak, where the Dinos play.
Plumbing issues don't happen every day, but when they do, it's good to know that there's a plumber you can trust right here in the Castle Country. The Swell Plumber has over 30 years of experience and has proven that he's reliable. Here's what some customers have said about the Swell Plumber.
Kurt was amazing. He came out to the house the same day and got quotes to us very quickly.
Kurt kept in touch with us with updates as things progressed. I was definitely pleased.
For residential and commercial plumbing, go to theswellplumber.com and book your appointment.
Welcome back. There's the kick. Bounces at the 10-yard, picked up by Nichols at the 5. 10, he'll go to the far side to the 15-yard line, brought down there, 1st and 10. So the Dinos start with their worst field position of the night on the 15-yard line of the Dinos with 9:53 left to play in the first half, and Juab with a 28-0 lead. And let's look at how they've scored so far. They had a 70-yard touchdown kickoff run. They had a 80-yard interception, a 35-yard TD run, and a 60-yard catch. So huge plays for Juab, and that's why they're up 28-0. The Dinos have moved the ball, but they haven't been able to finish.
Yeah, no, the Dinos have had their opportunities, just like you said, haven't been able to find any success when it matters most.
Shotgun handoff up the middle. Between the tackles, pick up of maybe a yard on the play for the Dinos. Nice defense by Juab for the short gain.
Yeah, holding them to about a 2-yard gain, but still forward progress for the Dinos. That's one of the keys we talked about for Carbon, being able to march that ball downfield effectively. And you can do that bit by bit, or you can do it in big chunk plays. Bit by bit, nothing wrong with that. Let that clock tick down a little bit, limit the offensive opportunities for Juab, and make yourself a name.
Riker O'Haron in the backfield now for the Dinos, stands on the left side of Dunn as the Dinos go right to left. 2 receivers to the near side, wants to throw. Throws out in the flat to Finch. He'll make the catch at the 20-yard line, and a pickup of about 2 on the play. We'll call it 3rd down and about 5 for the Dinos with 8:59 in running in the first quarter. And they trail 28-0.
And you look at the passing yardage, Sonny, and it's not like the Dinos are bad. They have 83 yards through the air so far this game. Rushing's been a different story, haven't been able to get it going as effectively. But the passing game has found some success.
Trips go to the right side. Tyen Olsen to the left side. Shotgun formation for Dunn. Wants to throw. Looks left and then throws in the middle, incomplete. Ball was intended for O'Haron. It falls to the ground. 4th down for the Dinos. 4th down and 4. We got a flag.
Personal foul.
Roughing the passer on Juab, and that's going to give the Dinos a first down.
And a lucky break for Carbon on that one, Sonny. Able to avoid a fourth down situation, move the ball downfield. That's something the Dinos have done a good job so far of this game, is taking advantage of those penalties. And there's only been two that come to mind. The big pass interference on their first drive and this roughing the passer. Both giving the Dinos a breath of fresh air, letting that ball move downfield and letting them build some momentum.
All fairness, I was looking upfield where the ball was thrown. I did not see the roughing the passer. The penalty gives the Dinos the first down. Ball sitting on the 35 shotgun.
You and me both, Sonny. I had my eyes on there, and a great hit by Ty Eldridge to break up that pass.
Trips go to the right side, down the right sidelines to Crespin. Ball knocked away, incomplete. Double coverage he threw into it. Was tipped up in the air, and that's usually bad news for the offense, but it falls to the ground incomplete. Second down and 10 for the Dinos.
Luckily, the combination of the receiver and the defensive back on that, Sonny, made it so that ball was bouncing forward, and they blocked the second defensive back right behind him from rushing up and trying to make the dive. So it falls harmlessly to the ground, but second down situation. I think the Dinos, again, try to get them into that sense of security where they're only going to go short. They take the deep shot. Now it didn't work. It's time to go back to what you were doing originally.
Dinos go right to left. Ball sits on the near hash mark. Timothy comes out to the left side, trips to the right side. Shotgun formation once again for Dunn. He'll step back, wants to throw. Under pressure, gets the ball away. I didn't hear a whistle. Did they call an incomplete pass? And another flag comes in.
Going to be interesting to see what that flag is, Sonny. My best guess, with the ball being thrown and them trying to find their way downfield, they're going to call it intentional grounding. There were a few possibilities on that one. I was thinking it could have been a personal foul, taunting against the Wasps, but no such luck for the Dinos. Instead, intentional grounding moves them back even further. That's one that's going to hurt.
So it's a penalty from the spot of the foul and a loss of a down, so it's going to be third down for the Dinos. Ball sits on the 20. They have to get to the 46-yard line, so it will be third down and 26 yards to go for the Dinos. 8:15 left first half. Juab up 28-0.
And they're excelling in every area of the game, Sonny, defensively, offensively, special teams-wise. If there's been a way to score, they found it.
Spread offense for the Dinos. Olsen in motion. Give the ball to Olsen on the little jet sweep. Here comes the tight end around the right side. He'll pick up 5, but it's not going to be near enough. Fourth down and about 20 for the Dinos. And the punting team will come on for Carbon to kick the ball away to Juab with 7:58 and running left to play in the first half. 95-3 the Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
And Sonny,
if you're just joining us, we're in Juab tonight. Homecoming for Juab. 28-0. The Wasps with the lead and trying to add to that.
I'm talking about putting on a show for your home crowd.
There's the kick. Short kick. Bounces at the 45-yard line. I believe it hit a Juab player, but they're on it anyway regardless. It'll be first down on the Carbon side of the field for Juab. They will start on the 45-yard line with 7:35 left to play in the first half, leading 28-0.
And it definitely did hit the foot of one of those downfield blockers. A good recognition by Juab to try and bite on that one. Sonny, I think it's time we take a look at some scores from around the state. Here's an interesting result for you down in Kanab. The Cowboys up 12-0 over Beaver. Is the magic running out down in southern Utah?
There's the snap, the handoff up the middle, some running room. Between the hash marks, breaking tackles, the ball carrier once again is Richards, and he has a big gain and enough for a first down and move the chains for Juab all the way down to the Carbon 25-yard line. And when we get a second, we'll go back for some more scores, Aiden. But this high-tempo offense
it's hard to keep up with,
Juab's going to give us, it's going to make it hard to get some scores in, but we will.
With runs like that, you can see why Richards, up to his injury, was averaging 175 rushing yards a game. He's got power.
Armstrong pitches it outside once again. It's Richards. He'll take it around the end, gets down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Coming up to make the stop is Fox for the Dinos, but not before a big gain and move the chains once again for Juab.
And he's got a bit of that Cam Scattaboo mentality, Sonny. Not afraid of contact. In fact, he embraces it when some defenders might want to shrug away from it. And because of that, he's able to power his way through for some very, very big runs.
Shotgun formation for Armstrong. Wants to throw. incomplete. Had his man, just threw it behind him, missed him that time.
And a few fists flying down on the field, Sonny, but the flag not being thrown. Definitely a little Sunday move by a Juab Wasps player. Lifts a downed Dino up. They didn't take well to that, but no harm, no foul. Juab keeps on marching downfield.
Myers, the intended receiver, falls to the ground, incomplete, second down. 6:35 left to play. Gives it to Richards again up the middle. Lots of running room. Fights his way down inside the 5. Moves the pack down close to the goal line. And it's touchdown Juab with the scrum-like rugby play.
Well, Sonny, you talk about full team efforts. When you get the entire team behind like that, pushing the pile, you're going to find yourself a way to get some good yardage, and in this case, a touchdown. Just a pile of humanity. Looked like a car crash on I-15, but they're able to move that pile downfield and into the end zone, make it a 34-0 ball game. Sonny, if the Wasps are to score now on this extra point, that makes it 35-0, and if it stays that way, start a quarter 3 running clock situation the remainder of the night.
Johnson on to attempt the extra point once again. Perfect on the night so far. There's the snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. 6:23 left to play first half. It's Juab 35 and Carbon nothing. And you have some scores for us, Aiden, from around the state?
That I do, Sonny. Let's take a look in the region first. Manti Richfield in a tight competition at the end of 1 right now. Manti 6, Wildcats 3. After 1, Cedar up big over North St. Pete, 21-0. Beaver and Kanab again. Kanab leading 12-0 there. It's a very interesting night of high school sports from around the state, Sonny. I mean, you look at across classifications. I'd bet my money 3A going to be the most entertaining of the bunch. You look through Canyon View up 21-0 over Emory right now. Grantsville big over Ben Lomond 43-0. Morgan up 28-0 over Union. Cedar City up 28-0 over North St. Pete. And Ogden and Logan tied at 7 apiece.
Thank you, Aiden, for some scores around the state. Here it's 35-0 Juab with 6:23 left to play here in the first half. The Dinos will get the ball. Back to receive the kick is Nichols and Timothy.
Well, Sonny, old habits almost die hard. I almost mispronounced Ben Loman's name.
There's the kick. Line drive kick hits at the 10, bounces into the end zone. The Dinos will start on the 20, 1st and 10.
And they're going to try and pick up here, Sonny, and move the ball down the field. I like what I've seen from the Dinos at points. You know, they've had success moving the ball forward. It's finishing those drives, finishing the first downs. That's what they got to do. They get started, but they're not finishing tonight. Juab, on the other hand, has finished everything they've started, with the exception of that first drive where the Dinos defense looked spectacular.
Well, they're big plays.
Yeah, they
really haven't had to have a sustained drive because they're having big plays.
Yeah, the Wasps have had those big chunk plays time and time again, rarely having to rely on the dink and dunk method.
Shotgun formation for the Dinos. Ball sits on the 20. Handoff. The ball on the ground. Scramble for it. Dinos got it back. I believe they did. Second down, we'll call it a loss of 2 on the fumble, 2nd and 12.
Well, Sonny, we've seen a rushing touchdown. We've seen a receiving touchdown, a kick return touchdown, and an interception touchdown. I'm hoping we don't see a fumble return touchdown for the Wasps. I mean, if you can score in almost every way possible out there, they've done it all except for that fumble, and they nearly pick it up there. They're just unrelenting, Sonny. This is a very good football team we're witnessing.
Yeah, every part of the team has had big plays tonight. The defense, the offense, the special teams. Second down, 13 for the Dinos. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers both sides. Wants to throw. Goes out into the flat, incomplete. Ball intended for Finch. The ball short, falls to the ground. 3rd down and long now for the Dinos.
And I can see why you're targeting Finch so far this game, Sonny. Up to 59 receiving yards. Had the big chunk play to keep him going early on in the game. But Juab kind of keying off him now, as well as Wilson. Wilson's an option you're going to take away from the jump. You're going to do everything you can to keep the ball out of his hands if you're the defense. For Finch, he's established himself. He's gotten something going, and now things just not going his way because Juab keying off of him and applying a little extra pressure his way.
5 minutes, 33 seconds away from halftime. Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show. We'll go over some team stats, individual stats. We'll talk a little bit about the first half. There's the snap, a handoff. Little reverse play goes to Wilson, and Wilson will be brought down at the 10-yard line. That did not fool Juab at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders in on the play, 4th and long for the Dinos, and they'll have to kick the ball away.
And, Sonny, that's the unfortunate reality of it. As they get down, you're going to run that reverse. It's something that's worked for them before, but once team gets films of it, that's something they're going to note as a play of interest. They see you start running that formation, get into that lineup. They're going to key off that reverse, and oftentimes they're going to be able to blow it up for a loss like we saw the Wasps just do.
Drake Johnson back to receive the kick. He stands at the 50-yard line. Kick is away by Sandoval. High kick, but short. Hits on the 35, bounces of the 45, picked up by Johnson and brought down immediately. Nice coverage by the Dinos.
And Nichols does an excellent job, Sonny, in tracking that ball down after the grab and not allowing anything on the return, but still good field position for the Wasps. But thanks to Nichols, a little bit worse than it could have been.
Maurer also in on the stop for the Dinos. So we got 4:37 left to play in the first half. Juab with a big 35-0 lead. Trying to add to that here. Good field position once again for Juab as they will sit on the Carbon 44-yard line. First down and 10, shotgun formation. Trips come to the near side, ball in the far hash mark. Out to this side they go. Ball caught at the 40, 30, down the sidelines, 20, 15, 10, and brought down. Myers with a big play once again. Move the chains and another first down for Juab in the red zone inside the 10-yard line.
It was a jet screen gun, right, for the Wasps, Sonny. They were able to get it into the hands of Myers. He identified his gaps, cut, bobbed, weaved, downfield he goes, setting them up in the red zone yet again.
First down just outside the 10-yard line, so they can get a first down. Shotgun formation once again for Armstrong, junior quarterback. Go out to the left side, that quick screen pass. The ball is caught, turned inside, close to the goal line. Just going to be a little bit short. Nice play.
Brady Gempler able to navigate the defense, gets them closer and closer to the promised land, Sonny. They're knocking on heaven's door right now. I'm just going to keep throwing out song titles that vaguely relate to our situation.
Just inside the 5. Second down, and we'll call it 4 yards to go for Juab. Under center this time is Armstrong. Man in motion comes to us. The man in motion gets the ball. Turns it inside. Close to the goal line. Flag comes in. Touchdown, but let's see what the flag is. That's usually where holding is. Yeah. We'll see if that's what it's going to be.
Falls in the realm of holding, thrown from that back judge near the line of scrimmage. That's the most likely call here.
Before we say touchdown, let's see what the flag is. And Juab's walking back, and I think it's going to be holding, and it is.
That it will. And, you know, Sonny, it's what I always say and what Joe Thomas always says. The only difference between a good block and a hold is the flag, and that's often the case because as a lineman, you want to get into the inside of those pads and grasp. But when you do so, you got to make sure you're not gaining any separation. As soon as they start breaking away from you, you have to let go, or it's going to be called the hold almost every time. If you keep them in close, they're not going to call that hold. Looks like it's just a good, short, tight block.
Spot foul, so it brings it back to the 14-yard line. Second down, they got to get down to the 1. Shotgun formation for Armstrong. Wants to throw in the pocket. Throws right side. Has a man wide open in the corner. Just overthrew him.
Gage
Vance was there.
The junior runs the wheel route out of the backfield. He's trying to find his way to the end zone. He finds a lot of green grass, but ball soars over his head. That's a lucky break for the Dinos. Not a defender within about 10 feet of him. Very lucky that ball was overthrown.
Yeah, he was there in the corner. Third down. Long for Juab. We'll call it third down 13.
And what looked to be a touchdown, Sonny, has quickly turned into a third and deep situation. But with a Juab team who's been known to make those big plays this game, the Dinos got to be on the lookout.
They go left to right. Ball sits on the far hash mark. Trips come to the near side. Armstrong in the shotgun. One running back stands to his left. 3:11 left to play. Handoff goes up the middle. Once again, it's Richards, and he fights his way down to the 5-yard line. Fourth down and manageable.
And, you know, about a 10-yard gain on the run, Sonny, but much better than a touchdown. You're glad to stop him at some point. It's decision time for the Wasps. Looks like they're bringing out the field goal team to try and kick it. They're playing bingo right now in methods of scoring. Field goal's one they have yet to check off their card, but looking to knock that one out right now.
So Drake Johnson will come on to attempt the field goal for Juab, and you're absolutely right. They scored this way, and they've scored every way possible.
Fumble recovery.
Safety.
Fumble recovery and a safety. There's two. There's two ways they haven't scored.
Ball's going to be set down, and it'll be a 24-yard field goal attempt for Johnson. The snap, good hold. The kick is up. The kick is good.
And it was a perfect 5 for 5 coming into the attempt, and he knocks it right between the uprights on the field goal attempt.
24-yard field goal, good with 2:14 left first half. Juab 38. The Carbon Dinos nothing. When we come back, 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Picture this. A sudden burst pipe, flames engulfing your kitchen. Disaster strikes when you least expect it. But fear not, because Restore Wizard of Price is here to save the day. Their team of restoration experts is ready to tackle any fire or flood emergency from start to finish. They're not just here to fix the damage, they're here to restore your peace of mind. Don't let disaster catch you off guard. Call Restore Wizard of Price, 637-9165. Restore Wizard, the magic of a fresh start.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Football on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Carbon Dino Football here in Juab tonight. Homecoming for the Juab Wasps. They lead 38-0. Dinos receiving the kick. Line drive kick. Fielded at the 10-yard line to the 15. Here comes Timothy to the 20. Just shy of the 20-yard line. The Dinos will start first down and 10.
28. Hager Timothy.
Going to mark it at the 24-yard line, so it'll be first and 10 for the Dinos. Trying to get something going on the offensive side. Trailing 38-0 with 2:07 left to play. We knew Juab was a good football team.
That we do, Sonny. This is a very disciplined group. Always a tough task to take on, especially at home. I was telling you on my way up here that my best memory at this field was when a deer walked onto the field in the middle of a 49-0 blowout. So I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the territory.
I want to also thank Juab for their hospitality. They've been great.
Oh, they've been spectacular, Sonny. The hospitality has been second to none.
So I want to thank them for that. So it's first down and 10 for the Dinos. Ball sitting on the 23-yard line. Shotgun formation for Dunn. Here's the snap. Quick pitch comes to the right side to Nichols. Has a little bit of running room. Gets across the 25 and a pickup of 3 or 4 on the play. We'll call it 3, 2nd and 7. The Dinos have done well on first down tonight.
That they have, and I've really liked it. That's what's really felt like has set them up for success, has been those plays where they can get going on first down.
2nd down, 7 for the Dinos. 1:40 and running left to play first half. To the line of scrimmage come the Dinos. Shotgun formation once again. Dunn wants to throw. Under pressure, throws, has Wilson, and he'll catch it across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Close to the first down. Move the chains in the first down for the Dinos.
And always good to see the Dinos being able to move the ball downfield, Sonny. I like what I've seen so far this drive. And as the clock continues to tick, they're going to try and get something going.
So 1:04 left to play. Down under a minute. Dinos come to the line once again in the shotgun. Down to 50 seconds. Dunn wants to throw in the pocket. Rushed out, goes to the right side, rolls out, wants to throw, throws. Had Timothy open at the 48-yard line, but running for his life when he was throwing the ball and just a bit short, falls to the ground, 2nd and 10.
And I like what I'm seeing, Sonny. They're able to move the ball, and they're getting close. The thing is, these aren't plays that are egregiously bad. These are plays that are close calls every time.
2nd down, 10. They made Dunn roll out of the pocket, and that was a tough throw for him on the run, rolling right. He found Timothy in a little gap there, but just couldn't get him to the ball. 2nd down, 10. Shotgun trips come to the left side. Right side, we have doubles. Spread formation for the Dinos. Dunn wants to throw. He's looking right. Still looking right. Throws down the right side to Timothy. Knocked away, incomplete. Almost intercepted.
And 4 Juab players all around, and they run into each other to the detriment of one, as running off the field is Gage Vance. Got a bit of a stinger coming his way on the hit from his teammate, but again, 4 Wasps all in range there to try and make a move. None of them able to do it. Ball falls harmlessly to the ground, much to the Dinos' benefit.
Yeah, the ball kind of hung in the air and gave the defense time to get back.
It gave them a chance to try and get something done, and that's always a scary, scary thing.
34 seconds up to play in the first half.
Brings up 3rd down.
3rd down, 10 for the Dinos. Shotgun once again for Dunn. Handoff goes to Nichols, and there's nowhere to go. That's a great defensive play by Juab. Wilson coming up to make the stop for a loss of 4. And it's 4th and long for the Dinos.
And it's one of those plays, Sonny, clock continues to tick. No one's going to call timeout. Just let the quarter end. That's going to be your best option here, as the Dinos are going to be going into the half down 38-0 to the Juab Wasps here at homecoming night at Wasps Field.
Senior Carter Wilson on that tackle. Nobody got in his way. He just got right back into the backfield, makes the stop, and that's how the half will end. We've played a half of football here at Juab High School, and the Wasps lead the Dinos 38-0 when we come back. At Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist. And here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
Hey there, food lovers. It's Bill Hicks from Farlano's Cafe, your new favorite spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you're craving a hearty omelet, a fresh salad, our golden curly fries, or our mouth-watering pastas, we've got you covered. And we're open 7 days a week. So come on down to Farlano's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration. Remember, it's where the locals eat. Visit us at Farlano's, where great food and great company come together. See you soon.
The time is now to join the JN Auto Experience. Browse quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs at our Price or Huntington lots. JN Auto can even help you get financing. Get fast, expert mechanic service to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Treat your car to a spotless wash or make it shine with professional detailing. Even rent a car. All in one convenient stop. JN Auto. Driven forward.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Looking for the perfect mattress? We've got you covered. At Bill's Home Furnishings, we have the largest selection of mattresses in eastern Utah, including the highly rated Serta Perfect Sleeper. And when it comes to price, we're competitive with anywhere in the state. But we're more than just mattresses. From quality furniture and home accessories to reliable appliances, we've got everything you need to make your house a home. Stop by Bill's Home Furnishings today, where selection, savings, and service meet. Right here in eastern Utah.
Looking for financial solutions? At Cache Valley Bank, they're here to help. Whether you need commercial loans, mortgages, or expert financial advising, they've got you covered. Visit them today on the corner of First West and Main Street. Cache Valley Bank, your partner in financial success.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. When your comfort is on the line, trust the experts who care. At Air Temp Heating and Cooling, we've been dedicated to keeping Castle Country cozy since 1999. Our certified technicians are ready with 24/7 emergency service and the latest knowledge in heating and cooling technology. As a proud Bryant authorized dealer, we'll do whatever it takes to ensure your home or business stays comfortable year-round. Call Air Temp Heating and Cooling today at 637-4468.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist. And here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
Welcome to the Carbon Dinos Halftime Report, brought to you by Castle Valley Orthodontics. Call 637-2222 and schedule your free consultation for a smile that will last a lifetime.
Welcome back to Carbon Dino Football here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. It's halftime here at Juab High School. This place is rocking. It's homecoming night here, and they lead 38-0. And if we take a look at some stats, Aiden, for the first half, well, look at how they scored. The opening kickoff, 70 yards from Martino.
Yeah, Martineau able to.
Martineau, I'm sorry.
He's able to run the ball downfield.
Good. 7-0, the score in favor of Juab.
Yeah, and that was kind of the start of what we figured Juab was going to be taking over. I mean, you start up the game on a touchdown on homecoming night in front of your home fans. That's going to do a lot for your momentum, and it did for Juab. Downard had an 80-yard interception return for the touchdown. The extra point by Johnson was good. And it was 14-0 here in the first quarter. Yeah, and they did an excellent job in that first quarter, Sonny, scoring in all aspects of the game, and you'll jump to that in the next one. Richards with the 35-yard touchdown run. Extra point by Johnson, good again. And at the end of one, it was 21-0. And that was a sign, Sonny, that the Wasps were here to play on homecoming night. They're coming off a tough 36-35 win over Grantsville, and they're carrying that momentum off that hard-fought win into tonight's contest. In the second quarter, Downard had a 60-yard touchdown catch. Extra point good once again, and it was 28-0. And as you can get the trend here, just big play after big play by Juab. Richards with a 13-yard touchdown run, extra point good to make it 35-0. And then Johnson with a 24-yard field goal right there towards the end of the first half to make it 38-0, and that's where we stand. Dinos being outscored 21-0 in the first, 17-0 in the second, and it's a 38-0 Juab lead. And you know, Sonny, this is one of those games where you're going to have an extended halftime because of the homecoming festivities, and that just might be what the Dinos need. Try and find something, because let's talk for a second. It's not like the Dinos weren't moving the ball. No. It's not that the Wasps held them in a standstill. It's that the Dinos were able to march the ball downfield, but they weren't able to finish any good drives they started. We saw them stall out at the 30-yard line about twice. One resulted in that 70-yard pick six that you mentioned when we were going over scoring. The other was a turnover on downs that Dunn had to throw out of a sack to try and avoid disaster. That's kind of what we're seeing. They can get the ball rolling, they can keep it moving and moving and moving, but then things just don't go their way once they get close to the red zone. That's when execution starts falling down. That's when Juab's defense really tightens up. And that's what they do. They bend, but they don't break. And that's what really makes them a special team defensively, is that they do not break. They bend, they bend, they bend, they bend a little bit more as they get closer and closer to that goal line. But eventually they'll get rigid enough that they're able to stop the Dinos and halt any forward progress. Take a look at some team stats. First downs, Dinos have 6, Juab has 5. Turnover situation,
Carbon with 1, Juab with 0. In the penalty side, 3 penalties for 40 yards for Juab, 2 for 10 for the Dinos.
And, those penalties have been big ones for the Wasps. I mean, you look at the first offensive play the Dinos had. Ball downfield to Wilson, pass interference call. Definitely the right move by Juab, though. If Wilson would have caught that, probably would have been taken into the house 4-6. But wisely, they yank him down, try and stop it. But they keep on moving forward. And they're able to just let the Dinos move forward 15 before getting a stop.
Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have some individual stats, and we'll take a look at some scores from around the state of Utah when we return. Carbon Dino Football, 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play. Also, tell the listeners where you can watch us.
Yeah, not only can you listen to us right here on 95.3 The Peak, but we're also available over on YouTube at Castle Country Radio Carbon, as well as on the KSL Sports app. So many ways to listen to the Dinos, Sonny. I don't know if you have any excuse not to tune in.
We'll be back right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist. And here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
At Castle Country Vet, they believe every pet deserves a touch of love and expert care. You can trust Dr. Harmer and Dr. Kelly. They're not just veterinarians, but passionate pet lovers, dedicated to nurturing your furry friends like family. From routine checkups to emergency interventions, you and your pet will experience compassionate, professional care every step of the way. Let Castle Country Vet help your pets lead the happiest, healthiest lives. Call Castle Country Vet today, 637-5797, because love is a four-legged word.
At Clean Cut Roofing and Siding, they believe every home deserves to look its best. Since 2003, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding has been transforming homes and businesses with precision and care, ensuring your peace of mind with every shingle and siding panel installed. Whether you're updating an old look, repairing storm damage, or bringing life back to your storefront, trust them to handle every detail. Visit cleancutroofingsiding.com to schedule your free consultation. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding, where quality meets craftsmanship.
Discover peace of mind with Don's Hometown Insurance, now even closer to home at their new location, 58 West Main Street in Price. Connect directly with friendly agents ready to tailor a package just for you. Imagine bundling your home, auto, and life insurance, simplifying your life while maximizing your savings. Experience personalized service designed to protect what matters most to you. Visit Don's Hometown Insurance today and feel the difference.
Hey there, food lovers. It's Bill Hicks from Farlano's Cafe, your new favorite spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you're craving a hearty omelet, a fresh salad, our golden curly fries, or our mouth-watering pastas, we've got you covered. And we're open 7 days a week. So come on down to Farlano's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration. Remember, it's where the locals eat. Visit us at Farlano's, where great food and great company come together. See you soon.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Or can I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Jill Jensen in Price today.
Discover the strength and beauty of Flawless Sheeting's metal siding and roofing solutions. Designed to endure and crafted to conserve energy, the products offered by Flawless Sheeting ensure your home not only looks good, but feels good too. Plus, they come with a 40-year warranty. Enjoy superior durability and enhanced comfort year-round with new roofing from Flawless Sheeting. Ready to upgrade? Call Flawless Sheeting at 636-7300 and elevate the way you live.
You see your friends with their new travel trailers, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides. They're living the dream, right? Well, it doesn't just have to be a dream. You can start living that same dream life today by starting your new career with GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance. GMS is hiring mechanics, electricians, fabricators, experienced and inexperienced miners. They offer high starting wages, benefits, a 401k, and vacation pay. Local jobs are available. Apply today. Email your resume to kbarker@gmsminerepair.com. The dream can be yours with GMS Mine Repair.
We're not going out on a limb when we say,
I want to go to Juniper.
Juniper Kitchen. Fantastic food, fun atmosphere. Known for their made-from-scratch pizzas, Juniper has the very best pastas, burgers, salads, wraps, hoagies, paninis, appetizers, loaded sodas, desserts, vegan and vegetarian options. Dine in for lunch or dinner, Tuesday through Friday, 11 till 8. Saturdays, noon till 8. Order online at juniperkitchenutah.com with DoorDash delivery. Stop beating around the bush for a great meal.
I want to go to Juniper.
Juniper Kitchen and Price.
You're looking for somewhere you could be proud to work. Komatsu is looking for you. Komatsu is a leading manufacturer of construction, mining, forestry, and industrial heavy equipment. Komatsu currently has openings for seasoned welders, journeyman electricians, and MSHA certified electricians, as well as master machinists. At Komatsu, not only will your skills be rewarded with competitive wages, but you'll also enjoy benefits like a robust 401k plan. Grow with Komatsu. Go to komatsu.com or call Tanner at 636-6150.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Welcome to the Carbon Dinos Halftime Report, brought to you by Castle Valley Orthodontics. Call 637-2222 and schedule your free consultation for a smile that will last a lifetime.
Welcome back. Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show here at Juab High School. Juab 38, Carbon Dinos nothing here at the half. And let's talk about some sports events coming up on Castle Country family stations on KOAL 107.3 FM, 750 AM tomorrow at 10 a.m. Early kickoff. So tune in early before 10 a.m. for the pregame show, but you have number 16 Utah at home against number 17 Texas Tech. Should be a good one.
And that's going to be a barn burner, Sonny, yes. Out at Rice Eccles. That place always jumping, especially when the big noon kickoff comes to town. Also, coming up later tonight on our sister station KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM, following the conclusion of the Emory Spartans game, you're going to have Sports Byline, one of the longest running sports talk shows in America. We're going to run from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Plenty of time to catch up with the latest and greatest in the world of sports. Also in the world of sports talk, you're going to have Drive Time Sports every weekday 4 to 5 p.m. Jordan Buscarini brings you the latest in local, collegiate, and national athletics. Jordan's so fun to listen to. I'm very glad that I have him as a role model in my life. He's not like Charles Barkley, Sonny. He's okay with being a role model.
Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 on KOAL is Drive Time Sports. And then Sunday on KOAL, where you will have the Las Vegas Raiders against the Washington Commanders. 11 a.m. kickoff time, pregame show before, join in. So lots of football coming up on KOAL and Castle Country Radio.
Yeah, and it's always fun when sports season starts, Sonny. We had that dirge of a few weeks over the summer where not all you had was baseball. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with baseball, but at a certain point, you get a little tired of it. So I'm excited to have football back, NBA getting ready to start back up. It's an exciting time in the world of sports.
Let's take a look at some 3A scores first from around the state, Aiden. And we'll look at the rankings while you do the scores, and we'll see how these teams are doing tonight.
Well, right now in the 3A classification, Canyon View up 21-6 over the Emory Spartans. Canyon View, a familiar foe for the Dinos, played them a few weeks ago. Canyon View excelling when they come to the Castle Country, it seems.
Canyon View ranked number 9 in the 3A RPI, and and Emory ranked number 5 in 2A.
Yeah, and Canyon View lost last week on a last-second field goal to North San Pete. That North San Pete team, one that we said was going to shock a lot of people. But right now, things going about par for course as they take on the Cedar City Reds in North San Pete. Cedar City up 28-0 over the Hawks.
Cedar City ranked number 1 in the RPI rankings. It looks like they're going to go to 6-0. That's a good football team that the Dinos will end the season with.
And Logan looking to play stunner to the Ogden Tigers, up 14-7 at the half. Logan, a team that hasn't been able to find much success on the season, 1-4. Ogden, on the other hand, 4-1, but they've been taking it to them tonight.
Yeah, Ogden ranked number 7, Logan number 12. So possible upset going on there between Logan and Ogden.
Other familiar foes, Richfield and Manti, deadlocked at 12 apiece as they enter the halftime break, Sonny. Two very tough teams there. State semifinalist and a state finalist both last season.
Yeah, we talked about this last week that we said this was going to be a good game. Manti comes in ranked number 3 with a 3-2 record. Richfield number 4 with a 4-1 record. We've seen Richfield play last week against the Dinos. They're a good football team, and we expected a close one there.
That we did, Sonny, and it's always good when those two teams come to town. Let's move to the ranks of 2A for a second. Excuse me. South Summit and Layton Christian taking each other on. Two teams who are vying to compete against Stan Juan and stop them from winning their 5th consecutive state championship. Right now, South Summit up 14-7.
Summit, I'm sorry, Aiden.
Oh, no, you go.
South Summit ranked number 3 in 2-3 record. Right now, leading and showing that they should be ranked number 3.
That they are, Sonny. And speaking of number 1 for 2A, San Juan up 38-7 over the Delta Rabbits at the halftime break. San Juan's dominant. That's a good football program, and it's one of those ones you can't complain about them too much because this is homegrown talent.
Right.
This isn't recruited out of area. This is homegrown, cultured football. That's what San Juan does so well.
San Juan ranked number 1, 4-1 on the season. Delta ranked number 8, 0-4 on the season. So taking a look at that, that's not a surprise.
Looking at number 2 in the 2A realm, South Sevier up 61-0 at the halftime break over the Grand Red Devils. Grand, a very young team, and we saw that firsthand, Sonny. A lot of freshmen and sophomore out there on the varsity level, and that's hard to do. It's a completely different game when you're going up against pretty much what, compared to you, are grown men.
Yeah, South Sevier ranked number 2, 5-0. Grand ranked number 10, 0-5, and South Sevier taking care of business.
And a rain delay out in Kanab, but the Cowboys up 12-0 over the Beavers of, you guessed it, Beaver. That's always a tough team to go in, and they're looking to hand Beaver their second 1A loss of the year. Beaver beat San Juan in thrilling fashion, but things have quickly gone downhill, looking to lose 2 in region play.
Yeah, Beaver ranked number 1 in 1A with a 4-run record, but losing right now here this Friday night.
And then that kind of rounds us out around as we get ready for kickoff here in half number 2 of play.
So the Dinos trailing by a score of 38-0, and they will get the ball first to start the second half. They'll go left to right on your radio dial. The Dinos are out on the field ready to go. We wait for Juab to come out. Great halftime show put on here by Juab High School for their homecoming, and it's now time for football.
They always pull out the stops, Sonny, and that was no exception. And again, with the score being 38-0, as soon as that clock starts ticking, it is going to continue to tick with a few exceptions, but with the mercy rule in place, going to start to run down.
So we're ready for the start of the second half. Carbon Dinos trying to get on the board here.
And that's what you got to do right now. You're playing for pride, and any comeback is going to start with a small step. If they can score here, Sonny, things can get out. Things can start snowballing quickly as Timothy makes the catch on the kick.
There's the return across the 25-30, 35-40 down the sidelines. Nice return by Timothy across the 40 to the 45 in good field position for the Dinos. They will start their first offensive possession of the second half.
And, Sonny, that's how it's going to get started, is a good kick return, something which the Dinos have done well all season. Last game, weren't able to find any kickoff return success, but up to that point, they had in 3 out of 4 games, they were able to find the back of the end zone on special teams at least once. So a big return by Timothy sets up the Dinos offense.
First down and 10 for the Dinos, shotgun formation. Man in motions, Wilson comes towards us. They give him the ball, and there is nowhere to go. Good defense by Juab. No gain on the play. Second down and 10 for the Dinos.
And they build a wall at the line of scrimmage almost immediately, stonewalling a very strong Wilson, which is no small task.
Next week, Dinos play North Stampede. We will be there.
That we will, Sonny. Going to be back at home. Homecoming for the Dinos, finally getting their turn to host.
Pregame 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock. There's the quick pitch to Nichols around the left side. Some running room across the 50 into Juab territory to the 49. We'll call it third down and 4 for the Dinos.
And a good run by Nichols on that carry. He's done a good job so far this game, Sonny. When he can get forward momentum, he's able to body his way through a few defenders, continue to march downfield.
Third down 4. Shotgun formation once again. Little reverse. Goes to Timothy. He has running room. Does he get to the first down marker? I believe he does. It depends on where they mark this. It's going to be close. And they say first down, move the chains for the Dinos.
And it was a good diving play by Heap, taking out the legs of Timothy from beneath him. Had he tried to tackle high, would have just simply been shrugged off, but able to stop what could have been a much bigger run. But the Dinos get the first down, able to continue marching this ball downfield.
First down 10, ball on Juab, 45-yard line, 9:52 left to play third quarter. Shotgun formation once again for Dunn. 2 receivers come to the 3 to the near side. Handoff goes to Nichols around the left side. He has running room across the 45 to the 40. And then there's a scrum going on at the 40-yard line. They'll mark him there. Pick up on the play of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 Juab defenders in on the stop. Second down and 5 for the Dinos.
And they finally found something in the run game, Sonny. That's something that coming into the game, I know Coach Milovich was very proud of. You look at the stats, they're averaging about 161 rushing yards per game as a team with 9 rushing touchdowns. The ground game has been excellent throughout the year for the Dinos.
Ball sits on the far hash mark. They go left to right. There's the snap. Handoff goes up the middle. Across the 40 to the 37-yard line, pickup of 3. Third down and 2 for the Dinos. Nichols, the ball carrier.
Water bottles were flying in the student section, Sonny prompting an announcement to knock it off. Luckily, Big Dave up on top of the booth. He's braving the weather right now. Luckily, not having to brave those water bottles.
Yeah, the weather has been good tonight.
Yeah, chilly, but just nice enough where, you keep a jacket on, you're going to be just fine.
We've been lucky so far this year with the weather situation.
That we have, Sonny. I'm hoping it stays that way.
Shotgun formation. There's a flag. It's going to be movement on the Dinos. It'll 5-yard penalty.
Those procedure ones on a 3rd and 4 situation, very manageable. 3rd and 9. They're going to have to turn to the pass game. Juab going to be able to read and key off that.
Only 3 penalties on the night for the Dinos for 15.
And that's not too bad. That's something they've done very well throughout the season, is playing a very disciplined brand of football. That's what I've really liked about Carbon throughout this season.
Dinos come to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation. Dunn wants to throw. Throws out to the left side. Ball caught at the 40-yard line for a pickup of maybe 1-2 yards. 4th down and long for the Dinos. Let's see what they do here.
Well, Sonny, I think you're in risk-taking position, and in a score like this, 38-0, you're going to be taking risks regardless, as we've already ticked away about 5 minutes away from quarter number 3. That running clock stops for hardly anyone. I was going to say no one, but it stops sometimes. Timeouts, penalties, things like that.
4th down, 8. Shotgun for the Dinos. Flag on the play. It will be...
Looks like a jump on one side. My guess would be against the Wasps, and procedure against Juab.
Yeah.
And it's back and forth it goes with the offside, Sonny. It's a little seesaw action back to where they originally started, about a 4th and 4.
Well, that's a big penalty. It puts the Dinos now with a 4th and manageable. And 4th and 3.
It opens up your playbook a little bit, is what's most important. You feel a little more comfortable running the ball now. You also feel pretty good about passing. You can break out either in this down and distance.
Finch Crespin, Timothy all to the left side. Dunn looks that way. Now he rolls that way. Wants to throw. Throws out in the flat. The ball is it caught or incomplete? Waiting for a signal. And it is
and they're
incomplete. And it'll go to Juab on downs. The ball was intended for Wilson. Falls to the ground. And Juab will take over with 6:59 left to play in the third quarter, up 38-0.
Yeah.
And once again, the Dinos move the ball, Aiden, but their drive falls short.
Yeah, the drive stalls out as they get into enemy territory. That's something that's just hard to overcome. It's kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. You get something going, but then you stall out at the worst possible time, like trying to shift onto the freeway, and then you stall the car.
Take the handoff. Quarterback keeper goes over the right side across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Pick up of 7. Second down.
And they're just continuing to move the ball downfield, Sonny. I don't think I've seen a Juab play, with the exception of their first drive, go for less than a 7-8 yard gain as they start to make some switches in this contest. Brady Gempler looks like he's checking into the contest for the Wasps.
Clayton Pay, the quarterback now, the sophomore in the shotgun for Juab. Handoff up the middle. Some running room across the 45, 50. Move the chains in the Dino territory to the 47-yard line. Richards, the ball carrier, coming up to make the tackle for the Dinos. Collins, but not before a first down.
And they continue to march the ball downfield, Sonny. Big plays keep on coming for Juab. The only problem with them is they haven't stalled out yet. I guess that's more of a personal problem. I wish they would.
5:38 and running left to play third quarter. They're up 38-0. Break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. Ball sits right in the middle. Between the hash marks, trips to the right side, singles to the left side. Man in motion comes to the left. He'll throw to the right. A little bubble screen. Ball caught at the 50. Across the 45, pickup of 2. And nice defensive play that time by Nichols for the Dinos to stop it short. Pickup of 2, second down and 8.
And as much as Nichols impresses on offense, Sonny, defense is where he really makes his name. 39 tackles on the season with 2 pass deflections, several tackles for a loss, able to keep pushing them backwards.
Lots of substitutions coming in for Juab now. Back in at quarterback is the sophomore Clayton Pay. Where's number 3?
When you can run a quarterback by committee, Sonny, that's always scary too.
Shotgun formation once again. Ball sits far hash mark. Right to left goes Juab. There's the snap. Handoff goes to the left side. Some running room across the 40. 35 gets to the corner. 30. Nice play that time by the ball carrier, Grady Ballo.
But the flag flies near the line of scrimmage, Sonny. More than likely going to be a hold.
Green blue, looking good, but there is a flag.
Ref's going to confer about the issue, but Juab walking backwards.
So the run by Baloo will be called back as the hold. The flag sits on the 45. It's a spot foul. Bring it back to the 45. Juab back on their side of the field. That'll be 5 penalties for 55 yards tonight for Juab. The Dinos, 3 for 15.
And that's been the biggest flaw in Juab's game, has been those penalties. You want to see those kind of go down because they've seen 2 costly penalties. This one costing a big run, the other costing a touchdown, but they've been able to overcome each time.
But we've only seen 8 flags tonight, probably the least amount of flags we've seen all year.
And it's been a very well-officiated game, too.
Shotgun formation. Quick throw out in the flat. Ball caught out in the flat. Across the 50, 45, 40. Down the sideline to the 30-yard line goes Vance. And it'll be enough for a first down and move the chain. So the Dinos had Juab in a long situation. But once again, the big play moves the chains.
And Sonny, it's giving me flashbacks to Ogden. First drive there for the Tigers against the Dinos resulted in a 3rd and 19. They took advantage and took it all the way to the house, 90 yards. Juab taking a similar mentality on these deep down and distances, able to convert nearly every time. The only time they got stopped was on the first drive of the game and the field goal.
3:28 and running left to play here in the third quarter. Handoff up the middle. A little bit of running room across the 30. But then coming up to make the stop is Sandoval for the Dinos. And also in on the play is Wilson. Pickup of 2, second down.
And it was a good job meeting him at the line of the scrimmage by the duo as Matthew Painter couldn't find anywhere to run on the play. I like the Dinos' defensive mentality. They're bringing back the gang tackle. That's what's been missing through portions of this contest.
Second down and 8. 2:54 and running left to play third quarter. Handoff up the middle. Nothing doing this time. Nice defense by the Dinos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive players led by Maurer. And it will be third down.
And that's a deep.
Rudin also in on the stop.
It moves the chains back just a little bit, Sonny, facing a third and about 11 now on the play. Deeper down in distance, but the Dinos need to hold tight here and not allow a big gain as we've seen throughout the contest.
Third down 10. Quick throw out to the left side. Ball caught at the 35. Back to the line of scrimmage. Really no gain. Coming up to make the stop is Crespin. Also Wilson. It's going to be fourth down, and we'll call it 11. A loss of 1, actually.
And a good stop on that one, Sonny. The Dinos hold strong, try and get the stop, and they do. Now a 4th and 11 situation for the Wasps. They've got to try and find their way downfield. Looks like they are going to keep the offense out.
We'll see what they do here as the clock runs down to 1:40. Minute 38. Timeout, Juab. Minute 38 left to play in the third quarter. 38-0. Juab with the lead over the Carbon Dinos. Don't forget, we'll be home next week against North St. Pete. Homecoming for the Carbon Dinos. Pre-game show 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock. Join us here on 95.3 The Peak, and also watch us. Castle Country YouTube. KSL app. So the Dinos on 4th down and 11 can get a stop here and get the ball back. I think we're going to have a field goal attempt, and we will. Coming on is Drake Johnson. The ball's going to be set down at the 40. This will be a 50-yard field goal attempt by Drake Johnson.
And that's a bold move, but also a good time to see how your kicker's power lies. I mean, if you can hit a 50 in a low-stress situation, you're going to trust him a little more in these high-stakes situations as we get further and further, and no better experience than game experience.
Going right to left, the ball sitting on the left hash mark. There's the snap. The kick is up. It's going to be short. Lands at the goal line and goes through, and the Dinos will get the ball at the 20-yard line. So with the high school rule, I mean, you get the ball, you know, they really don't lose anything on that. They can just see if he has the distance for future games. Yeah, I like that. I like that play.
It's a good coaching strategy. Kind of see where he lies, where that power lies, and see if you can try and make things like that happen. So now you know you need to move him about 10 yards closer, kind of limiting him to about a 40-yard kick.
So in high school, the kick, if it goes in to the end zone past the goal line, the ball will go to the 20-yard line. That's exactly what happens. And the Dinos will start at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Shotgun formation for Carbon. We'll have a 5-yard penalty on the Dinos as they moved.
And that's not the ideal way to start a drive, Sonny. Quite the opposite. And we talked about the Dinos being a very well-disciplined team up to that point. But everyone makes mistakes at some point. That one costing the Dinos 5 yards, though.
So they got 4 penalties tonight, all 5-yard penalties. They've had no major penalties.
And that's something as a coach you're going to look at and be pretty proud of. If you can avoid those major penalties, that's going to be a very big difference maker, especially when you play against tough teams like Juab.
That comes on 1st down, so it'll be 1st and 15 for the Dinos. Shotgun formation. Dunn hands the ball off to Nichols. He'll find some running room across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 10 on the play. 2nd down, so they got 5 yards back plus 5, so 2nd and 5.
And a great run by Nichols. Sonny, he's really impressed me this game. He doesn't shy away from contact, and when they wrap him up, he keeps the legs churning, trying to fight through. That's what makes you a good running back. And again, I feel it's important to point out right now, Sonny, this is a very young Dino team. Lots of juniors, a few seniors in the starting rotation, but a lot of underclassmen stepping up in major ways.
Quick pitch comes to the right side. Nowhere to go. Nice defense that time by Juab. He will pick up a couple of yards. Nice run for the Dinos. That's Dawson Johnson.
And I like seeing Johnson get into the game, Sonny. Only a freshman, seeing varsity carries, and we never have really seen him blown up at the line. He's always able to find a gain. That's a promising sign.
And that's the end of the third quarter here at Juab High School. It's Juab 38 and the Carbon Dinos nothing. When we come back, fourth quarter action, and then after the game, don't go anywhere, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show right here, 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play.
The more things change,
the more they stay the same.
Yes, Mr. Automotive has a new building in Huntington.
But that just means the services they offer just got better.
Detailing and mechanic work are being added to the already great service Mr. Automotive had already offered.
And all deals are still done with the owner at the lowest prices possible.
New building, same best prices, and more auto services. Go to MrAutomotiveSales.com or stop by the dealership, 21 South Main, Huntington. Mr. Automotive, the best for less.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Football on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back, Carbon Dino Football, fourth quarter action. Dinos with it. Dunn's going to keep it as he comes around the left side. Breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders come in and gang tackle Caden Dunn. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Did a good job just doing that, and it's going to be 4th and 2.
He did. He had to fight for every yard just to get back to the line, Sonny. A very tall task for the junior quarterback. Nearly finds a breakaway, but good gang tackling by Juab halts him.
With the score 38-0, even though they're on their side of the field, this is
go for it territory.
Go for it on fourth down, yes.
You have nothing to lose.
No, Dinos break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. Dunn will go under center. Maurer in the backfield for the Dinos. One receiver to the far side. Flag comes out. Timeout Carbon before the delay of game. So they almost got the delay of game. The Dinos call timeout.
A close call for the Dinos as they continue to try and get something going. A good, wise call to stop it before that delay of game, though. This is the time you want to use that timeout.
Yeah. 11:01 left to play. Juab 38, Carbon nothing. Have some scores from around the state. Aiden on our sister station, Emory playing tonight.
Yeah, they're taking on a familiar foe for the Dinos in the Canyon View Falcons. Right now, Sonny, not much change has been seen in that one. 21-6 still as they sit in the halftime break. Over in Cedar City, Cedar up 35-0 over North Sam Pete. We'll get more scores as we get closer and closer throughout this game.
Cedar, number one team in 3A. Looks like they'll probably stay there with the win tonight. Under center, 4th down 2. Handoff up the middle. Dinos move the pack. They win the line of scrimmage. Be a first down for the Dinos. The ball carrier is Maurer, and we'll move the chains for the Dinos.
And that quarterback sneak been so effective for the Dinos throughout the game. They've been able to pick up a good yardage each time they've broken it out. Again, both for a first down as they continue to march.
1st and 10 for Carbon. 10:30 and running left to play in the game. Score at the half was 38-0. It's still that, 38-0 with 10 minutes left to play in the fourth. Under center, Dunn. Quick pitch comes to the left side. Nichols, the ball carrier, tries to get to the corner. Picks up a couple. 2nd down.
Leading rusher for the day is Nichols. He's been doing a good job getting on the ground and moving that ball forward. Looks like a little more than a couple, Sonny. They bump him up to about 4 to 5.
Clayton.
Little friendly spot by the officials. And, sometimes you're going to have that. But, again, this officiating crew has done a spectacular job today, Sonny. I have no complaints at all. And normally, you know me, I've got plenty of complaints. Not the case tonight, though, and it's a tough job putting yourself out there, and these officials have excelled.
Shotgun formation, quick pitch, goes out to the right side. Running room across the 40 to the 43, close to the first down. Move the chains for the Carbon Dinos.
45 out there in the ball.
Once again, it's Dawson Johnson, the freshman. He'll move the chains.
And Johnson doing an excellent job. I've loved what I see from this young group of Dinos. Sonny, last week it was Weston Home coming up with a few key catches for the Dinos. Now Dawson Johnson able to effectively and efficiently move the ball forward.
First down and 10 for the Dinos. Down to 9 minutes left to play. Shotgun formation this time for Dunn. He'll hand it off to O'Haron across the 45 or the 48-yard line, maybe the 49. Pick up a 3, second down and 7.
And O'Haron able to bully his way forward, Sonny. I love the running backs. That's been a position group that has been stellar throughout the season, Sonny. I've loved what I've seen, and they just continue to impress. They're moving the ball with some efficiency.
Going to give him 4 on that play, so we'll call it 2nd and 6. Ball sits on the far hash marks. Dino goes right to left on your dial. Shotgun for Dunn. Here's a reverse. It goes to Timothy around the right side. Tries to find some running room. Gets across the 50 into Juab territory. Picks up 3. Flags fly everywhere after the play, and we'll see what it is. It's got to be a late hit or something in that nature.
Little extracurricular activity happening along the sideline. The real question is going to be, Sonny, who committed the crime? Is it going to be a Wasp, a Dino, or a combination of the two to offset?
Unsportsmanlike late hit against Juab. That's going to cost them 15 yards. Makes it 6 penalties for 70 yards and move the chains for the Dino. First down, number 10 of the night as they get the ball down to the 34-yard line.
And that has helped them again, Sonny. The difference between these two teams has been those penalties. Juab giving up several big ones. Carbon holding it to just those small 5-yarders. And as a result, Carbon has been able to march downfield.
Under 8 minutes left to play. Handoff up the middle. Running room for Nichols. The ball's on the ground and picked up by the Dinos. On the run, down to the 10-yard line. Nichols put the ball down. We got flags everywhere again at the end of the play. We'll see what it is.
Good field vision by the Dinos on that one, Sonny.
That ball on the ground. And then picked up.
Chance Wood looking to be the one to pick it up, and he moves it just a little bit more forward. Good recovery by Carbon on that run.
Fumble, then Carbon picked it up and made a big play out of this. We'll see what the penalty is.
So the penalty at the end of the play, let's see what it is. I think it's going to be against Carbon.
And that is exactly what it looks to be.
They are walking backwards, yeah. Personal foul against the Dinos.
Still a first down, though, Sonny. So a big play negated just a little bit, but Dinos able to move it just a little bit forward as they wait for the chains.
It'll actually be second down.
Well, Sonny,
first down. I'm sorry, first down.
I never claimed to be good at math. First down, and no, they're moving the chains.
Moving the chains. So it'll be first down and 10.
Well, looks like I wasn't the only one who was a little confused. And that's a good feeling.
Okay, first and 10 for the Dinos. Ball sits on the 25-yard line. Dunn under center. Handoff. That broken play, and Dunn ends up keeping it, and he'll get knocked back to the 30-yard line. Flags come in again. So that's 3 straight plays at the end of the play. Flags have flown.
My guess is it's a third straight personal foul. Based on everything that was happening, my guess is it's going to be against the Wasps in benefit of the Dinos. And yep,
it's going back the other way.
A personal foul, 15 yards. So despite the loss and the botched handoff, the Dinos move forward. You know, sometimes life just works out for you like that.
First down for Carbon. 7:22 left to play. So that's 3 straight plays at the end of the play. We've seen flags fly. So it's getting a little chippy.
That is, Sonny, and the thing with these flags is every time they fly, it stops the clocks of the Dinos, buying themselves a stay of execution by virtue of these personal fouls.
So the Dinos have the ball at the 20, at the 15. So they're in the red zone. 1st and 10 for the Dinos.
Looking to break the goose egg. The Dinos have yet to be shut out this season.
Handoff, little reverse, goes to Timothy around the left side. He's got running room. Down to the 15, 10, inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Nice little play. Coming up to make the tackle for Juab, it's Cowan.
And the Dinos continue to ground and pound to success. Coach Milovich talked about it coming into the game. He was very proud of this running back room. He liked what he'd seen from him so far, and you can see why. They do an excellent job just continuing to move the ball downfield despite what the scoreboard may say. They're averaging 161 rush yards per game, Sonny.
2nd down, 6 for the Dinos. 2nd down, 4 for the Dinos. Gain is 6. Shotgun formation for Dunn. Trips to the near side. He'll go to the other side. Throws it up. Incomplete.
And Wilson
All intended for Wilson.
He had a good change of direction in the end zone, but unable to get back in time to snag the ball before it touched earth.
3rd down and 4. 6-12 and running left to play in the ball game. 38-0 Juab. Carbon Dino football, 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play. Next week we'll be home. Homecoming
Against the Hawks. Always a fun game. Was a similar situation last year. That was the one game that should have been on the road this year that got flipped due to the change in region.
Shotgun formation. High snap. Dunn just falls on it. Making it 4th down and 5. And that's a good play. You don't want to lose the ball. Just fall on. You got another play to go.
I got to give it to him. That looked like it was going to be sure disaster. Not only was the snap botched, but he kind of pushed it forward as he tried to grab it, go soaring into the air, but he has an excellent recovery, dives, catches it before it falls to the ground, able to halt any damage that could have been done by Juab recovering that fumble. And remember, Sonny, that's one of the few ways the Wasps haven't scored tonight.
Timeout Carbon with 5:32 left to play. Trying to get on the board here, the Dinos. We've talked about the offense tonight, Aiden. They have been able to move the ball.
No, and
they just haven't been able to finish drives. They've moved the ball well between the 30s.
They have. They get into the red zone and they stall out on drive, Sonny. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like they can't break that barrier. They can't get over that wall. Well, like Mr. Reagan implored, they need to tear that down.
4th down, 6 yards to go for the Dinos. Come out of the timeout. They're going to try a field goal.
And it's a good try, Sonny. Timothy has been able to connect on a few field goals, and it's a situation like Juab found themselves in. They're going to test the leg.
28-yard field goal. They'll put the ball down on the 18. There's the snap. The set. The kick is up by Timothy, and it is good. 28-yard field goal by Timothy puts the Dinos on the board, 38-3 with 5:16 left to play.
And, Sonny, what I've loved about the Dinos, just as a whole, is they always seem to have good kickers, and that's due to a very good boys soccer culture at Carbon High School, always finding themselves consistently in the postseason, and it shows on the football field when it comes to the kicking game, an area which the Dinos have always excelled. I mean, last year you had the Golden Lake of Luke Brady, and now you have a duo of kickers in Eli Chili and Tager Timothy.
So I'm sure we'll see an onside here by the Dinos.
Oh, you'd expect it. Give them a chance to continue something offensively.
We got the old-fashioned onside kick. A little bit different.
I don't like the new NFL kickoff, if I'm being honest. I think it's really stupid. You take all the fun out of it. I don't care if the ball was soaring into the back of the end zone. It still is. It still is pretty consistently. It's just you lose the opportunity for a lot of electric plays. Yeah, I don't like the new NFL kickoff rules. I'm glad we haven't touched it on these lower levels.
The Dinos will kick it off. 5:16 left to play. Kicking for Carbon will be Eli Chili, the junior. See if they kick an onside or kick it away here. Clock runs with 5:06, and they'll kick the ball away. Fill it at the 5-yard line to the 10, 15, 20, 25, across the 25-yard line, gets out to the 27. 1st and 10 for Juab They will start there, 1st and 10. Return by Drake Johnson.
And it's Juab's time. They can just let that clock tick if they want. They can try and put points on the board again. Really, any possibility is open for the Wasps here on homecoming night.
4:37 and running.
And the fans continued pumped up. The student section's been spectacular tonight, Sonny. Yep. Juab's energy has been unmatched.
Ball sits on the 27 near hash mark, going left to right on your dial. Trips to the far side. Handoff up the middle. Running room across the 35, 40, the 50, the 40. In the Dino territory down to the 30-yard line and a big run and move the chains in a first down.
Good recovery by Trace Crespin in the secondary to bring down the back.
Justin Reynolds, the ball carrier, the junior, with the big play.
And that's a name we haven't seen much of tonight, Sonny. That just shows how deep this Juab squad runs. And that's just something they do in every sport. I don't know how they find sustained success in everything, but they do. It's like the San Juan of 3A, really. They just continually build and build and build the culture here. Incredible. And I know that's something that Coach Milovich is trying to build up at Carbon. A whole lot of new coaches over at Carbon High School, all of them working towards a common goal, though, of building that culture of excellence amongst the students and the student athletes.
Freshman Rhett Richards in at quarterback now for Juab. He'll throw the ball out to the left side, a little bubble screen. Ball's caught down inside the 20 to the 15, close to the 10. Corbin Mace, the receiver, move the chains in a first down, and we'll have a line change for Juab.
Yeah, they're starting to get some of those younger players into the game, Sonny. Rightfully so. It's homecoming night. Give them some good memories early on. 38-3 is the score. Clock continues to run inside of 3 minutes now.
That was a nice throw by the freshman Rhett Richards.
That was a great bubble screen. Great navigation throughout the Carbon defense as well. Even with these younger guys in, the Wasps still able to pull off these big chunk plays.
Far hash mark, shotgun formation, 2:43 and running left to play, 38-3. Juab with the lead and the ball looking for more. Freshman hands it off up the middle. Close to the 10-yard line. Probably going to mark it around the 11. We'll call it second down.
Yeah, about the 11. A good stand by the Dinos defensive line, not allowing much on that. Maybe a few inches that the Wasps were able to advance. Clock now approaching the 2-minute mark. They're doing a good job just milking it down, letting that play clock run down.
Gruden was one of the Carbon Dino defenders in on the stop. They were down to 2 minutes.
Coach Downer is the midseason Coach of the Year.
Shotgun formation. Long snap count. Down to a minute 44. There's the snap. Handoff. Comes to the right side. There's nothing there this time. Good defense by the Dinos led by Maurer. It'll be third down and long for Juab.
And Sonny, they bled that down all the way to 1 second left on the play clock. You don't have as good of a view of it as I do where I'm sitting, but they're letting that just continue to tick down as, like we talked about at the start of that play, they were at about the 2-minute mark, now approaching the final 60 seconds of tonight's contest.
Third down and 10. Let that play clock down to 18. Juab still in the huddle.
Again, letting it just continue to run down within 10 seconds now.
Freshman Richards comes from the sideline, comes out with the play. Play clock down to 5. Down to 3. Game clock under a minute. He'll keep it himself. Comes to the right side. Does he get to the corner? No. Nice defensive play by Carbon. Coming up to make the play is Timothy and Crespin to save the touchdown. And with 36 seconds left, another play does not need to be ran, and this game will end 38-3 Juab.
And Juab did an excellent job throughout the game, Sonny. You got to give them a lot of credit. Special teams, defensively, offensively, they executed extremely well. They listened to their coaches. They follow the game plan, and they're rewarded with a 38-3 victory because of it. Great showing by them, but I got to say, the Dinos, again, it's one of those situations where you perform better than what the scoreboard shows. They were able to really get the run game going in the second half, and at moments in the first half, they were able to effectively move the ball, but stalling out in the red zone proved to be their falter tonight.
So the final score, 38-3, Juab with the win over the Carbon Dinos. We'll take a break when we come back. Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show when we return here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
Transform your space with Spectrum Paint featuring PPG paint, the ideal choice for any home project. Imagine a kaleidoscope of colors at your fingertips, from soothing pastels to vibrant primaries. Whether revamping a room or adding character to your exteriors, Spectrum Paint makes every brush stroke count. Dive into a spectrum where quality meets creativity and paint your world with us. Visit Spectrum Paint to find the perfect shade for your home today.
Imagine a smooth, hassle-free journey to the front door of your new home with the Driggs Mortgage Team guiding you every step of the way. Hi, this is Greg Driggs. Our seasoned experts understand the ins and outs of home financing and refinancing. Come visit us at our new permanent address, 8 East Main in Price, where we plan to be a staple for years to come. Start your journey today. Call 801-427-3577. The Driggs Mortgage Team, NMLS number 272076, Equal Housing Opportunity. Driggs Mortgage Team is a DBA of Premier Mortgage Resources, LLC, NMLS 1169.
In the heart of Carbon and Emory counties, Quick Realty is here to help you make the right move. Experience the future of home buying with our Matterport 3D tours, giving you an immersive look at your potential home from anywhere. Meet our dedicated team of local professionals, just real people who care, walking you through every step of the way. As a Zillow Premier and Realtor.com specialist, Quick Realty is your trusted expert, handling everything from residential, commercial, and mountain properties to property management. Your dream home is just a call away. Let Quick Realty help you find it.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
I'm Will Hinckley, number 66. I'm Cole Hinckley, number 72, and you're listening to 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play.
Welcome back. Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show. Final score tonight, Juab gets a homecoming win, 38-3 over the Carbon Dinos, and Aiden will take a look at scoring by quarters. At the end of one, it was 21-0 Juab, all on big plays. They took the opening kickoff, 70 yards down the sidelines to take a 7-0 lead, and they never really looked back. In the second quarter, they outscored the Dinos 17-0, have a 38-0 lead at halftime.
And Sonny, that 21-0 outburst at the start, that was done in all three aspects of the game: a defensive touchdown, a special teams touchdown, and an offensive touchdown. Every time, with the exception of their first offensive drive, the Wasps touched the ball, it felt like magic was happening for them.
Yeah, we had a 70-yard kick return, 80-yard interception for a touchdown, 35-yard touchdown run. So all big plays in the first quarter. Take a 21-0 lead. Like I said, 38-0 at half. Then in the second half, 0-0 in the third quarter. The Dinos outscore them 38-3 in the fourth. So final score, 38-3.
Yeah, and it was just a tough game for the Dinos, and we talked about it throughout. We're going to talk about it again now. They would move the ball very effectively down the field. We saw that through the first and the second half. They'd get down. They moved the ball very well within the 30s. From their 30-yard line to Juab's 30-yard line, they were able to march downfield. But as soon as they crossed that threshold, it felt like nothing would work for them. The Juab defense would come up with some big plays, and they just weren't able to execute as efficiently as they were in the midfield section.
Well, I have the Dinos down for 11 first downs, Juab with 10. You know what? Juab had a lot of big plays, okay? So the first down, but I'm looking at 11 first down for the Dinos, proving that they were moving the ball on the offensive side, just not finishing.
No, this wasn't a situation where you look at the first down differential and it's like 1 to 12. This was an 11 to 10 affair, and I think that is indicative of how the Dinos were able to perform before they got into the red zone. But that's kind of the most important part of the drive is once you get within that 30, within that 20. That's when you really need to have the execution on point.
Absolutely. The Dinos had one turnover tonight. It was a big turnover, interception by Juab to take it down the sidelines for a touchdown. Only one turnover. Juab, something we haven't talked about. They had no turnovers tonight. They kept complete care of the football.
That they did, Sonny. They were able to do it very effectively. They took care of the ball. The Dinos had a few turnovers and a few near turnovers, but for the most part, Juab was able to keep it within their control and make the most of every given drive.
Penalties, 7 for 85 yards tonight for Juab. The Dinos had 5 for 35. That's some team stats for tonight's game, but the final score, once again, 38-3. Juab with the win. Now we look to next week. Next Friday night, we'll be back home against North St. Pete. It'll be the homecoming game for the Carbon Dinos, and we'll be there. Pregame 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock.
That we will, Sonny, and it's no easy schedule coming up for the Dinos next week, like you said, against North St. Pete. Homecoming for Carbon at last. Then they take the road to take on the Delta Rabbits, the last non-conference game they'll play in this season. Then they take on the Manti Templars at home, a team always tough to face, and they close the season out on the road in Cedar City against the Reds. And we talked about them in the pregame show, Sonny. That's a team who's really poised very well in the 3A race, sitting at number 1 in the RPI right now.
Yeah, if you take a look at, we sound like a broken record with our region, but we have a tough region.
No, it's just the truth. It's not like we get to go out there and play some of these easier teams in the state. You look through, we're playing about the top 5 of the top 7 teams in the state.
Well, if you take a look at the top 5, Cedar, Manti, Richfield, Juab, 4 out of those top 5 teams are in our region.
Yeah, and that's a tough situation that they're facing, Sonny. Always hard to try and overcome when there's so much talent coming your way in the region, and that's just the unfortunate reality they face. 3A gets tougher and tougher each year as teams continue to drop down from the 4A ranks, but you look at the size, only 12 teams as well.
The thing about it is when we come to basketball season, we'll be saying the same thing again.
Yeah, we will. It's a different region there too, though, and I always found it interesting how they break up the regions by football and non-football sports.
Yeah.
But it's a hard one regardless. In basketball and those other non-football sports, you see matchups with the Emory Spartans, always a tough task. You see matchups with Union, who has been a very good athletic school as of late. You also see matchups against several other powerhouses around the state. Manti, of course, always a tall task. So just a lot of competition for the Dinos, no matter the sport. It's just hard playing sports in Utah. It's a lot of tough teams, but that's what makes it so fun.
Yep. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll finish out the broadcast tonight. Once again, the final score, Juab 38 and the Carbon Dinos 3. The Dinos go to 2-4 in the regular season, and looking for their first region win as well next week. As we said, North St. Pete comes to town for homecoming. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
At At Clean Cut Roofing and Siding, they believe every home deserves to look its best. Since 2003, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding has been transforming homes and businesses with precision and care, ensuring your peace of mind with every shingle and siding panel installed. Whether you're updating an old look, repairing storm damage, or bringing life back to your storefront, trust them to handle every detail. Visit cleancutroofingsiding.com to schedule your free consultation. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding, where quality meets craft.
Carbon High School football on KRPX 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union post-game show. Once again, Juab with the 38-3 win over the Carbon Dinos tonight. Aiden said the Dinos moved the ball tonight, just couldn't get any points on the board. Lots of big plays for Juab. We knew this was a good football team, and they're solid in every aspect.
Yeah, no, there's an aspect of the game where Juab is really lacking. They put together a complete game offensively, defensively, special teams-wise. They found a success no matter where they were playing, and that was a major difference maker here tonight. But I did like what I saw from the Dinos special team unit when it was time to kick that field goal. Tiger Timothy right down the pipe for 3.
Some positive things for the Dinos tonight. We maybe carry them over for next week when North St. Pete comes to town for homecoming. As I said, we'll be there. Pregame show 6:30, kickoff time 7 o'clock. Don't forget, tomorrow the Utah Utes will be playing Texas Tech. It's number 16 versus number 17, 10 a.m. kickoff on KOAL 107.3 FM 750 a.m. with the pregame show before, and then the Raiders and the Commanders will play on Sunday, kickoff 11 o'clock, pregame show before that as well on KOAL as well. So lots of football to come for the weekend. Anything else, Aiden, before we call it an evening?
Go Dinos. Let's get them on the next one.
I'm Sonny Buscarini. He is Aiden Mortensen. Want to thank Dave Hokinson doing a great job once again on the camera. You want to run some scores real fast before we call it an evening?
Oh, yeah.
Finals?
Let's run some scores. We got a few finals from around the state. We'll stick to our region, though, except with one exception. Logan up 27-14 over the Ogden Tigers as time continues to tick down in that game. 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Logan looking to come away with a region upset. In the 3A South Division, Cedar City wins 35-0 over North St. Pete. We look at Richfield and Manti. Richfield is up 25-12 right now down at Manti. Richfield, always a tough team. No matter how young the group, they're going to put on a show.
Yes.
Just a tough group. And then looking through, that's just about it, Sonny.
All right. So with that, we're going to call it an evening here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play once again. The final score, Juab 38, the Carbon Dinos 3. Sonny Buscarini, Aiden Mortensen, and Dave Hokinson. Have a great night and go Dinos.